It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. SEC Media Days rolls on in Tampa as Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M make the rounds today. 3HL is broadcasting live from Media Days starting at 3, presented by Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. It is commitment day for five-star running back David Gabriel George out of Baylor School in Chattanooga. He is down to Tennessee, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. DGG will announce his commitment at 4:30 this afternoon. Nashville Soccer Club is back home tonight, the second game back from the World Cup break, hosting Montreal. Kickoff is at 7:30. Pregame coverage on the Zone starts at 7. Nashville defending its spot at the top of the Major League Soccer standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're happy to have you, Lucas, Robert, and me, till 1 o'clock, as is the custom. We've got SEC Media Days, stuff that is critical to get caught up on. We have a number of different teams who are going to be at the podium. This afternoon, we have NFL teams reporting for training camp today in Arizona and Carolina. Titans next week. We will be out on the field. It was almost, it doesn't sneak up on you necessarily, but you look up one day and training camp is literally a week away. You say, all right, time to get back into this thing. 615-737-1045. The number is how you jump in if you want to. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, where the show is live streamed, the F&M Bank chat. Many people complaining about the weather to greet us in the F&M Bank chat. I kind of like this. Kind of like the setup that we have right now. It's hot as hell during the day. It's sunny during the day, and then at night it rains. You guys, do you have a patio at your house? Like a back porch type situation?
There's a back porch type situation.
Do you, is it covered?
No.
Okay. I have a front porch that's covered. I think it's nice. Sit outside in the rain. Just kind of take it in. You know, if you're out there with your laptop, if you're working or whatever. I kind of like rain in the evening, although it does feel like we're living in South Florida now. We are now to the point where I wake up in the morning and I can't see out of my windows because it's just completely covered in condensation.
Yesterday's rain was insane. Hope everybody stayed safe and turned around and didn't drown with all the flash flood warnings that were coming through.
I saw a lot of tweets to the effect of you could canoe down Gallatin if you wanted to right now.
Y'all know my place is on a hill. I looked out the window when I was sitting in my computer and I was like, good Lord, you could definitely slide, like do a little water slide down my hill yesterday.
Oh, like in the back?
Oh, no, just the road going down in front of my house. I mean, I went outside and put a towel over my head to smoke a cig to go outside, and I came in drenched.
Put a towel over your head to go smoke a cigarette?
Well, I had already walked all the way downstairs, and I don't own an umbrella. So
You don't own an umbrella?
I don't think so.
I don't think I do either.
I would rather get wet than
I just get wet.
look like the penguin. Like, who are you, Mary Poppins? What you got an umbrella for?
So I don't
What do I need an umbrella for? To like walk to the car? I'll just get wet.
I don't love that. I mean, I'll wear like a rain jacket. I have a little umbrella. I don't use it that often, but I've got like one of those little ones that it's in the side of my car door, but I very rarely think to use it. Like I'll just wear the rain jacket, put the hood up.
You're the kind of guy that wants a girl to throw her coat over a puddle so you can step over it.
That's right.
Sometimes it's raining outside.
Or just you, physically. You, lay down.
Yes, allow me to walk across your body. Your body is a vessel.
It'll be raining outside in the summer, and I'll just go take a walk and just get drenched. But it's nice. A little summer rain.
You know where else I love the rain?
That's kind of weird.
I love a
What?
beach rain
Just
day.
taking a walk in the rain?
And just,
I'm like Owen Wilson. Did y'all ever see the movie Midnight in Paris?
yeah.
Robert?
I'm not watching any movies that you bring up every
I'm sorry.
I just think
because
this
it
is-
doesn't have demons and
don't make it
gore.
sound like I'm. Yes, those are the two
Don't
things
make
that
it
I
sound
look
like you
for.
are what you are.
I
No,
don't-
The fact that you're trying to shove the horror genre down our throats.
No, it's because he asked me about it. He was like, is this a good movie? Yes, you should watch it. I'm probably never going to watch it. Why did you ask me?
Because I have this thing with horror movies where I'm intrigued by them and the plot, but like I don't want to watch them because I'm scared.
You literally told me that you're like, I'll just go read the Wikipedia summary plot.
Yeah, I want to know what happens.
I think that's fine. I think that's fine. If you are impacted, Robert, if you are physically, mentally, emotionally impacted by some of these movies, again, they are great movies. Some of them, the thrillers, I can do a thriller. I can't do a lot of gore. Like it makes me squeamish. Hand up. Like I couldn't ever be a doctor or a vet or anything like that. Couldn't operate on anybody, not just because I didn't have the grades or anything like that to go to med school, but because it physically makes me squeamish. Okay? Can't deal with that. Scary movies I can handle, but it's where they take the pivot from scary and thriller to gore that I a lot of them do. And that's okay. Like that's part of it. There has to be some kind of consequence. Somebody has to die in order for it to be a horror movie. I would just rather it not be in just the most gruesome fashion possible.
Well, yeah, you got to keep stacking it up. I think this is where
it was Saw in grade school for me. Saw put me over the top. Saw and Hostel. I was there. I had no shot. Okay, Hostel in like 5th grade. I had no chance with this genre. If that was the way that I was starting out, no shot.
See, I think I'm just desensitized because, like, I've skinned cows, deer, cleaned fish, ducks. Like, I've literally had to shoot my own pet pig when I was a kid to make it into sausage. So, like, blood, guts, gore, like that. If it's on the movie, that don't bother me.
I get it.
It just, I like being in a place where I'm like, oh, this is scary.
But you're doing the thing to me and Lucas that you hate when we do to you.
Yeah, but what happens when you guys do that to me? I acquiesce. I come around. I indulge. I give in. I give back to you guys because I know it means something to you, and I'm agreeing with your assumption that it's good. I'm saying, if these guys are telling me this, even though I have this terrible characteristic within my body when someone tells me or asks me to do something because you asked me or told me, I don't want to do it.
Relatable.
I still do it for you guys, but scary movie. Oh, that's too scary. Something might be underneath my bed.
It's not that.
Something's living in my closet.
I don't want to have to deal with it for the rest of the evening, and I know it's going to impact me. Whether it's just I'm not going to sleep as well, and I don't sleep great. Anything that's going to make me sleep less well, I don't want anything to do with.
Your cats will protect you. Lily, the intruders would find Lily before they found you, so you would at least have an opportunity to get in a safe place, I think you guys should open up. Like, we need a scary movie weekend where you guys come watch a scary, and I'll protect you.
Well, we did leave.
Hold your hand.
We did leave the Odyssey saying that we should go to the movies more. And you two may go to the movies more often than I do. I don't go to the movies.
I'm not seeing a scary movie in IMAX.
I am also.
It wouldn't
baby steps.
be an IMAX.
I'm also, I don't think, I will go to the movies, but I will not go see a scary movie.
I'll go to the scary movies by myself. Think about that. Sitting in there just squinty-eyed by myself.
No, I almost think that's better because a lot of times, and for some reason, it's, not to stereotype or anything like that, but I do feel like women enjoy thrillers and horror movies.
And women enjoy.
No, to be brave, you can be squeamish and terrified of these things rather than putting on a brave face because you're on a date or something like that. You know how embarrassing it is to have to cover your eyes in the middle of a movie if you're on a date? You don't want to do that.
Everybody call in and give us scary movies to watch.
No.
Yes. We need scary movies that you guys will watch with me as your foray into scary movies. We got to ramp them up.
It's not like we haven't seen scary movies. What's the last scary movie you saw?
Death to Smoochie.
Start to finish. Oh, Lord, I don't know. I always like when Halloween rolls around, I like to get into the spirit of things. So I'll have something on. So
he watches Charlie Brown's Great Pumpkin or something like that.
Yeah, QB Halloween.
Yeah, I watch the Hotel Transylvania cartoon movie that Adam Sandler did.
No.
I'll watch the John Carpenter Halloweens or something. But I think the last scary movie I watched start to finish was Smile. And it was a good movie. And I wish I didn't watch it.
You don't mean that.
I do. It was really scary.
So I will never watch Dune if you don't watch a scary movie with me.
Did you watch Dune?
Never seen it.
I never saw the first one. I went to the second
It's so
one.
odd. It's so odd. Like, in preparation to going to see the second one, you didn't even want to go see the first one?
No, I just, it's like Odyssey. He bought the tickets in May, and he's been obsessed with this thing for a period of months, understandably so, like a lot of people are. And I just walked into the thing blind. I knew that Matt Damon was in it. I knew that Anne Hathaway was in it. I know the Odyssey. All right, let's go.
Burning Devil hits the nail on the head. I think you guys should start with
That's somebody in the chat.
with
not
Terrifier.
You citing Burning Devil without saying that it's a YouTube commenter and then saying what horror movie they would like for us to watch.
We should watch Terrifier because that would make you numb to everything. It is literally the thing that neither one of you want. It is extremely gory, so Buck would hate it, and it is actually terrifying, so Lucas would also hate it. That's what we got to watch.
Something that we all walk away with being unhappy, right? That's the nature of compromise. 615-737-1045, the number if you want to jump in. Do you guys care at all about this LeBron stuff?
I know. I'm kind of like, just tell me when he lands somewhere.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a forced march when we do the national show because there's LeBron every hour. And
It's DGG commitment day. You just tell me when LeBron signs somewhere.
There's another GOAT involving Ohio that Lucas cares about more.
Well, we'll see about that. Guess we'll find out now, won't we?
Now, won't we?
So it is DGG commitment day.
4:30 today
How are you
in
feeling?
Chattanooga.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. All of the noise as of the last 48 hours has been trending towards DGG committing to Tennessee. There's
Brett doubled down yesterday. Brett Doherty on 3HL doubled down yesterday with us.
And for the first
Been
time,
saying it for a while.
He said he thinks it's going to happen. For the first time this week, you have the national recruiting and college football reporters like Pete Nakos and Steve Wiltfong that are projecting he commits with Tennessee. There's the noise around DGG signing a deal with Adidas, which wouldn't make a lot of sense if he was about to go to a Nike school in Ohio State. And credit to Austin Price of VolQuest, who the entire time has said DGG to Tennessee is so much more realistic than anybody nationally is giving it credit for. And we'll find out officially today, but we're to the point now where Ohio State fans and Tennessee fans are arguing on Twitter, and it feels like Ohio State fans are kind of conceding, yet, yeah, he's probably going to pledge to Tennessee.
Was it you that was talking about the NIL offer that was reportedly on the table being, I can't remember if I was listening to a recruiting podcast.
It wasn't me, but Chris Lowe did have reporting on that Ohio State's offer was less than Tennessee's.
And the Tennessee reported alleged offer is somewhere in the ballpark of $2 million.
Yes, and reportedly backed by Adidas, who Tennessee just entered a 10-year partnership with.
It would be a great time for that Adidas partnership to pay off.
Yeah, well, there's a key difference between Adidas and Nike, and that's Nike, that, and they don't really deal with high school athletes. You don't often see high school recruits signing with Nike.
Well, it started recently, hasn't it?
Adidas has done a lot of that.
No, I know Adidas has, but I feel like, doesn't Nike have some high school athletes right now?
Maybe they do. Not that I've seen. I mean, it's not really been their MO, whereas Adidas has for a long time really been involved with signing deals with younger players regardless of sport.
I have more experience, right? Because it's an international brand. You do that far more often in soccer and even in basketball, right? International basketball as well. So why should it be any different in the States? Speaking of the SEC, 104.5 The Zone is down there. 3HL is down there in Tampa for SEC Media Days. They are there until tomorrow. Tomorrow's their last day of shows from Tampa, and then they will return back. You can check out all the interviews that they've done and all the interviews that they will continue to do that you won't get anywhere else. Nobody does it better than 3HL. SEC Media Day coverage is sponsored by Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver, and by eSpaces, exceptional office space for every business. For more information and a schedule of 3HL's interviews, visit 1045thezone.com. Clark Lee was really good with them yesterday. I heard the tail end of that driving around in the afternoon, and they do a great job as always with those things. So no interest in LeBron.
Yeah, what's the news? Just you want to talk about it, so just get it off your chest. What's the news about LeBron?
No, I don't necessarily. I just think it's interesting that Miami is firing their YouTube people because somebody accidentally posted a link for a LeBron James press conference from the Heat's YouTube channel.
That is funny.
Now on Indeed.com today, there is a listing for the Heat's digital somebody basically who runs their YouTube. I don't remember the exact title. It's just at what point does he?
That actually is pretty funny. That's a funny gaffe. Not funny for that person.
I mean, yeah, it's a tough scene for that person, but the betting odds have shifted very heavily in favor of Miami in the last couple of days. I haven't looked at Kalshi or Polymarket or anything like that, but I'm sure that Miami started to level out the odds a little bit. I just don't know why. I guess I'm kind of like you. I am curious as to why people are still so obsessed with LeBron James. Like, he's still a top 20 player. Nobody's denying that he's excellent, but I don't know. At a certain point, just make a decision, right? Adam Silver is complaining in press conferences, Lucas, that they can't make the schedule until they know where LeBron James plays.
It's true.
Which is kind of pathetic, though.
I mean, it is what it is, right?
No, but if you're the commissioner answering press conference questions, and we all know that the NBA has gone to a level of player deference that no league should really go to. They have gone too far, to too many extremes, where there doesn't seem to be a lot of governance from Adam Silver as the commissioner of the NBA. I think it's a pretty terrible look for you to get up there and be like, yeah, I just really need this guy to make a decision about where he's going to play next year so I can set the entire league schedule, even if it is true. Anyway. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. So we've got a number of things to talk about from SEC Media Days. We'll talk about that coming up next.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
The Guaranteed Offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, There's no showings. We pay all cash. We close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Not even close. SEC Media Days continues. It's Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and A&M at the various podiums. We're going to get into what happened yesterday in Tampa here in just a second. A quick reminder that every child deserves to start school with confidence. Ramon Foster, big fella, is proud to host the Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive, benefiting children served by From Your Father, a Middle Tennessee nonprofit supporting single mothers and their children. As families prepare for a new school year, backpacks and school supplies are often available through community drives, but finding a brand new pair of shoes in the right size is much harder. Shoes need to fit, last, and carry kids through long school days, recess, PE, and everything in between. So we're asking you guys to help us help Ramon out to show up for children across Middle Tennessee. You can sponsor a child today for just $55 by donating on the link at 1045thezone.com. So we appreciate you guys anytime you support anything that we're doing to help out the community, and Ramon is doing a great job with his Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive.
That's my man.
Well, no, it's Keisha's man.
Debatable.
No, it can't be like a situation that Lucas has with his roommate Blue and his fiance, where there's clear tension in who gets the vast majority of his attention. I don't think that you and Keisha are really in competition whatsoever.
Yeah, no tension. I'm his work wife, and she is his home wife.
Does Ramon know this? Does Ramon know that you have multiple work spouses? Because Crystal from 92Q would be very disappointed to hear that you have been cheating on your work spouse with another work spouse at a different station. This is not a Bartolo Colon secret family situation.
Okay, so Crystal is my work wife, but I am Ramon's work wife. It's like a flow chart.
I wonder if Ramon would claim that.
That's my man.
What caught your attention at SEC Media Days yesterday?
Clark Lee, Vanderbilt making the rounds. I mean, we can just do this here, Robert. What caught my attention was, okay. Cedric Alexander sit down with Paul Feinbaum. Cedric Alexander, who is an excellent representative for Vanderbilt football, is poised for a potential breakout year as the Vanderbilt running back, who his numbers were lower than I thought they were at first glance last year, because I felt like Cedric Alexander was one of Vanderbilt's most important players, and he was last year, but 567 yards. He had 15 total touchdowns in 2025, and he's poised to build on that with, you would think, Jared Curtis starting at quarterback, but Clark Lee continued to leave the door open in terms of the quarterback competition and acknowledged that, yeah, there's a world where they could play both quarterbacks, where there's some sort of ramp up in the early part of the season. It's not exactly where he wants to be, but I still think I'll be surprised if Jared Curtis isn't starting in week 1, right? Like, I don't know what it would take for me to wrap my head around the idea that Blaise Berlowitz could be the starter in week 1 for Vanderbilt.
I mean, it would just have to be, yeah, okay, you see it. You see it with your own eyes. Like, it's a tough thing to wrap your head around, especially with Vandy, because you don't normally associate Vanderbilt with options.
And I love the approach from Clark Lee. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is not, to me, like a situation where you just go ahead and you hand him the keys as soon as he walks in. Like, make him earn it. But I think most of us will still be surprised if Clark Lee does not start Jared Curtis in week 1.
Well, that's an interesting conversation, though. Like, okay, so what if he doesn't earn it and they give it to him anyway?
Well,
because that's kind of what you're saying. You're saying.
Well, I don't know. What insight would we have that?
No.
I don't
I'm just
understand
saying what you're saying is you appreciate and you like the approach that Clark Lee is taking, which is the competition is what's happening here, just as we would have on. And it's the thing that every coach says, right? We're going to let competition play out everywhere on the roster. And they said that last year around Cam Morton, who was the starting quarterback. Cam Morton, because they signed Brandon Allen. Now, I don't know what level of skill Berlowitz has relative to the incoming freshman and looking at how much more he can give them outside of the talent ceiling that the younger player has here. But if Vanderbilt's in a situation where it's going to cause tension because the more talented player, the higher touted recruit, didn't win the job, but you're like, okay, is it going to cause me problems if I don't start this guy? Is it going to cause me more problems if I don't start this guy? It's a bit of a conundrum that Clark Lee has to figure out. So we'll see what happens.
I genuinely don't think Clark Lee cares about the perception of not starting your 5-star freshman in week 1. He has said multiple times, Jared Curtis, no promises were made to Jared Curtis in terms of timeline of when he's going to start for Vanderbilt. And I think there's an assumption everyone can make that an aspect that was intriguing to Jared Curtis to go to Vanderbilt was the chance to play immediately as opposed to sitting behind Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, of course, where Curtis was previously committed. Stockton's Georgia's quarterback, barring injury, in 2026. There's no question about it. But I don't think that means that Jared Curtis is the type of player to arrive on campus on West End and to be pouty because he's not starting in week 1. I think he understands he has to earn it, because this adjustment for Jared Curtis, as talented and as physically ready he looks like he is for the SEC, this is going to be a massive adjustment for him from the level he was playing at, with no disrespect to D2 single-A football in Tennessee. But I was driving in and I heard Ramon and Will talking about it. Will said Jared Curtis was literally bigger than a pretty big chunk of the tackles that he was playing with and against throughout the course of his high school football career. So it is a huge adjustment, and I would think that Curtis understands that part of things as he gets adjusted to SEC football.
Well, again, you would think, but we have no idea. In the same way that you're talking about, we have no insights as to how Vanderbilt and Clark Lee are going to handle this. We have no insights. I mean, at least unless you know him from doing games Have you done many national Christian
I
games?
actually did not. Somehow, I did not get an opportunity to call a game with Jared Curtis. At any time that we had,
But you're in that scene, so you would have a more level of insight than I would about who the player actually is, like who the person actually is.
It felt like any time I missed a game on our My TV 30 broadcast on vacation or whatever is when they were doing a national Christian game and somebody else was doing it.
So Vanderbilt, it's an interesting situation. And then the conversation around Lane Kiffin.
Well, quickly, before you move on, we've got to hear from Vanderbilt running back Cedric Alexander, who was on the desk with Paul Feinbaum yesterday. And I just loved this interaction between Cedric Alexander and Paul Feinbaum after Vanderbilt made the rounds yesterday in Tampa.
You're a little bit different than some players, not all, but you got a degree and you're also married. Congratulations on that. Tell us about a lot of responsibilities for someone. Now you've been in school for a while, but you're not living the life of the or maybe you are, of the average college student, because a lot more of them do get married these days. Talk about that aspect of your life, if you don't mind.
Well, it's okay. I'm not married, but it's okay because I'm married to the game, and that's one thing that I love is the game, and that's one thing that I enjoy doing is being attached to the games for so long. So
I loved that interaction, and what that clip leaves out is Feinbaum after the fact, kind of like. He stumbles a little bit. He's like, "Oh, okay. We had read that you were married, but clearly it's just that you are married to football." So their research team dug up that Cedric Alexander was married, and they must have seen a quote where he talked about being married to the game.
No,
and told Paul that this young man is married while playing college football, and then he asked him on the desk, and he said, "Nope. Just married to the game."
Married to ball.
If you look up Cedric Alexander married, there is a professional wrestler whose name is Cedric Alexander.
No way.
And he is married.
You're kidding.
No, 100%. So
maybe that's what they...
Because if you just look up Cedric Alexander, it's like, yes, he's married to Ariel Hall.
But it's spelled Cedric like Cedric.
Yes.
Where Vanderbilt running back spells it Sedrick.
So I wonder if it was a case of mistaken identity.
That's so funny.
That's possible. That's tough because Feinbaum's the one who's got to wear it, and there's some
it was a gaffe.
Some poor scared researcher scuttling around the Charlotte studios, being like, "Who said he was married?"
Google AI said he was married, Paul.
That's so funny. It was a gaffe, but it did end up producing one of the funnier moments.
Yeah,
and what honestly has been a kind of a dry week so far down at Media Days. Now Lane hasn't spoken. Steve Sarkisian hasn't spoken, and he has been chatting throughout the course of the offseason. And the thing that I had when we were talking about Media Days kicking off Monday when you weren't here is I feel like Sark is going to do this, and I hate when coaches do this, when they are loud all offseason talking about basket weaving classes at Ole Miss, challenging Texas Tech, and that they could go undefeated with that schedule if they just played their backups the whole time. All of that, and then you get to the podium, and you're like really bashful about it, and you don't want to talk about that stuff. It's like, well, you said this stuff. You were willing to be out in public with all this stuff, and now you don't want to touch on it with like the Jimbo thing when he called that presser against Saban and then gets to the podium and nothing's private anymore. Like that's the stuff that drives me nuts.
Appreciate that. Listen, we talk about this thing because this is a thing that is interesting to the audience, and it means that college football is close. And we have our college football kickoff, right? You guys are going to be at Yazoo on September the 4th, Friday, September the 4th from...
We're all going to be there.
No.
It's going to be a great time, had by all.
You guys are going to be there. Cover 2 is going to be there, and 3HL is going to be there to kick off college football.
So we are all going to be there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It'll be a big time. I'm excited for Buck to get to see Yazoo. I
don't care about Buck. I'm saying like the station's going to be there.
3 of the 4 shows are going to be there. Yes.
And
Yazoo in Madison, for what it's worth. Yep. And there are free kickoff T-shirts, glasses, other prizes for the first 250 people who hang out at Yazoo on Friday, September the 4th as a part of the college football kickoff. So we've done that 3 or 4 years in a row, right? The Yazoo thing. And it's a great spot out there in Madison. It used to be right here in the Gulch, but they've got more space. It's a great setup, so you should hang out with all 3 shows that afternoon. As far as media days go, though, Lucas, like, when's the last time you felt that it wasn't dry? Like, I appreciate what this is and what it means and what it signifies as far as college football, attention returning to college football, but this thing has never not been dry.
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing out of media days so far has been the talk of the SEC breaking away from college football and the lack of hesitancy to address that. And Greg Sankey saying, yeah, no, those have been conversations. And Kirby Smart saying, yes, that has been talked about. That is something that is significant coming out of media days. But yeah, in terms of the coaches getting up there, I feel like we are very far removed from the days of
like, when's the last
coaches
time you
with
came
zingers
away
and
Yeah.
you know, saying all these interesting things. Heupel this time around especially, Heupel managed to be, apart from the one incredibly dry kind of
joke,
stoic jab / joke at Lane Kiffin.
Couldn't even hear any crowd laughter. Like, it's almost like they missed it because he was so
very under the radar. But Heupel was even drier than he has normally been, which is an achievement. So, yes, that is the case. But like we said,
and I'm not saying it's not important.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, these things, is there still the level of value? You tell me, to the audience, is there still the level of value that these availabilities present that there used to be? Because now it's about bureaucratic stuff, right? We're talking about every year it's about what Greg Sankey says because the landscape of college athletics is shifting, and we're talking about expansion. We're talking about SEC succession potentially. We're talking about all these different things that are administrative, not the actual football.
It feels that way.
Okay.
It feels that way for sure.
What do you have in SEC observations?
I guess we'll find out next.
the stakes are high, the chains are tight, and even Nick Saban would tell you it's about to get physical.
You got to know when to kick them in the ass. You got to know when to pat them on the ass. And you got to know when not to say anything.
So come on down where the big boys play in the Sec Dungeon.
So today at SEC Media Days, Bama, Florida, Ole Miss, and A&M are making the rounds. 3HL will be on at 3, presented by Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. So they will sit down with plenty of folks from those programs and crush those interviews as they typically do. John Sumrall is kind of bringing it today at SEC Media Days. As every SEC head coach seemingly wants to complain about having to play 9 conference games. And Eli Drinkwitz talks about how they don't get enough credit for the stadiums that they play in and all of these things. John Sumrall saw an opportunity to do the exact opposite and step up there and say, I'm not going to get up here and complain about being an SEC head football coach and having to play 9 SEC opponents. He also...
Until he loses.
Sure, like that's an easy thing for John Sumrall to say.
Yeah.
Another easy thing for John Sumrall to say, obviously he was asked about staying at Tulane for the college football playoffs, something that Lane Kiffin did not do. And Sumrall said, quote, Lane and I talked through the process of October and November. Lane said, we're going through the same thing. I said, no, we're not. You're leaving an SEC school. I'm leaving Tulane. If any university said I could not coach in the playoff, I don't think I would have taken the job. Again, easy things for John Sumrall to say, but he is saying things that are at least mildly interesting down in Tampa.
And next year, he will not say anything, right? It's just, it's to your point, it's very easy for Will Stein and John Sumrall to come in here. And
this is where you beat your chest, right? Like
sure.
When you're
year
going
one, before
year
it's
one.
humbled you.
Right.
before you've lost that game to Mississippi State that you weren't supposed to lose or whatever the case may be.
I mean, even like I go back to Clark Lee in year one at Vanderbilt, talking about wanting to build Vanderbilt into a national championship contender.
Yep.
And Will Stein saying we're going to go to the top of college football because of me and the belief in me. And John Sumrall, the latest here in these year one coaches.
Lane and everything that Lane is doing right now. Did you hear this Ben Watson clip?
Yeah.
Benjamin Watson, the former longtime tight end in college football and in the NFL, was on the desk of the SEC Network, and he was talking about Lane Kiffin. And within the context of the expectations different for Sumrall or Stein versus Lane, who's going from SEC to SEC, this is what Ben Watson had to say about Lane Kiffin and LSU expectations in year one.
An LSU fan is going to be watching this football game. It's an opportunity for Dabo Swinney to make a statement, but on the same token, I think that Lane Kiffin has to make the national championship this year.
Whoa.
He has to.
Hey, don't say that on Get Up or First Take. Twitter will come
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying he's going to.
No, I did say that too. I agree with you.
We can debate that, but I think for him, he has to.
Yes.
He has to at least make the game this year because he left the team, Dari, that was a game away.
Yes.
Like he left.
Finally, someone with me.
I'm just thinking is in 2 days.
He left a team that was a game away to go somewhere else. So granted, he's got more money than all of us.
And that's somewhere else.
Why are we just talking over one another? What is going on that desk?
Yeah, that's strong words. Benjamin Watson saying Lane has to make the championship game.
I mean, is it strong or is it reason? I think it's completely reasonable for what they're spending, what they spent on him, what they spent on the roster.
It feels reductive to say he has to do it in year one or it's a failure. Like, yes, the Lane Kiffin era will be judged as a disappointment if LSU does not reach championship heights. Like, that goes without saying. The Brian Kelly era at LSU, a massive disappointment because they didn't even sniff championship heights. But to say that he has to do it in year one just feels like it's good TV.
I mean, who is in a situation like that?
Like
if not Lane, who is in a situation like that?
Oh, Sark.
Sark, okay. That's a good submission.
Sark, way more so than Lane.
That's a good submission.
I mean, Kirby maybe more so than Lane, but
Kirby more than Lane. Lane doesn't have a title.
Yeah, Kirby, it's funny. We were talking yesterday about Georgia, trying to get back to the top.
And I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. I'm not saying that he has to be fired if he doesn't make the national championship game, but I'm saying if Lane doesn't have those expectations, who does? And Sark is a good submission.
It's Sark. And we'll get to Sark, Texas, maybe tomorrow. I can't remember exactly when Texas makes the rounds. Probably tomorrow. I think we only have one more day of this down in Tampa. But
3HL does it, at least.
Okay, then yes, Sark will speak tomorrow. Lane will speak tomorrow. So we'll talk more about him tomorrow, too. But, yeah, man, yes, you can say that here on July 22nd. But is there a massive difference if LSU gets to, let's say, the quarterfinal of the college football playoff and loses in overtime on a bad call?
I mean, I wouldn't answer that question.
Right.
I'd leave that question to their fan base. I don't know.
Or reaches the semifinal and comes up short of the championship, then the season's no, they're going to leave that season incredibly excited about the trajectory of the program under Lane Kiffin. So, no, Lane Kiffin does not have to make the championship game in year one for year one to be considered a success or a good trajectory for the program. It's Ben Watson, saying things that'll make good TV. But yes, Lane Kiffin does have to, in the long term, bring Ole Miss back, LSU back to championship heights for that era to be considered a success. There's no debate about that.
I just thought it was about multiple.
Yeah.
It's about sustained championship success.
Yeah, he's being paid for LSU to become a consistent contender that wins championships, plural.
Go ahead, Robert.
No, you guys were so is the question who has the hotter seat to perform at the highest level this year, or just who has the hottest seat?
Who is under more pressure to be in the college football national championship game?
Would you say Brent Venables? I mean, coming off a 10-3 year. Here is Brent Venables' record since he got to Oklahoma in 2022. 6-7, 10-3. 6-7, 10-3.
Snip snap.
If we follow the trend, he's going to go 6-7 again. But I would imagine that he has a lot of pressure to also perform because he's gotten them close, but not close enough.
I mean, could he be replaced? He's had enough time there.
I mean, there's a dividing line between schools that actually will move on from coaches because they don't think they can win them a national championship and schools that say they will but won't. Right? Like Georgia has proved itself to be on the side that actually will. Moving on from Mark Richt to hire Kirby Smart, that's obviously paid off. I think Oklahoma is on the other side of that aisle. That, yes, they are a championship program. Like the history of Oklahoma football, the standard is championships, national championships, Big 12 championships for the large part of their history. But as Oklahoma, are we having any discussion about they need to move on from Brent Venables if they're consistently making the playoff? I highly doubt it. Because you can tout championship contention if you are in the college football playoff, even if there are circumstances where you are not actually a national championship contender while you're in. Like Tennessee was in the college football playoff in 2024. Tennessee was not a national championship contender in 2024.
I think the chat is correct when they say Josh Heupel is under more pressure than Venables, but I do think that's also through the prism of here, right? Like,
I don't know. I mean, in 2026, who's expected to win more games, Heupel or Venables?
Oh, probably Venables.
It's Venables. He has John Mateer coming back. Yeah. We don't even know who Heupel's quarterback is going to be.
Exact polar opposites at quarterback. Like you have a redshirt senior who has been in college football for years and years, has a ton of playing experience, and Tennessee is potentially starting a five-star freshman who has never played college football.
So the discussion on pressure on coaches has shifted so much in the college football playoff era.
Because we've moved the goalpost, right? Making the playoff is now an accomplishment that could be marketed to people that will spend money on your program.
Right. And we'll see what programs rise up and basically put their foot down and put their money where their mouth is when saying that making the playoff is not enough. We haven't really seen a program do that, right? Move on from a coach just because making the college football playoff isn't enough. You could say James Franklin, but Penn State was bottoming out in real time after that Oregon loss last year, and all of the frustrations of just not being able to get over the hump under Franklin basically came to a head, and they fired James Franklin. But we have yet to see a program fire a coach because he keeps hitting that ceiling of Good enough to get to the playoff, but not good enough to meaningfully contend once you get there. Hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. I mean, Jimbo at A&M? Who are you talking about?
Jimbo at A&M.
At A&M? No, they had one good year under Jimbo, and it was the COVID year where they went 9-1 on a 10-game schedule. No, the Jimbo experiment at A&M was a failure for the money they gave him. Like, that was a Lane Kiffin situation. You're here to contend for and win championships. He didn't get close, apart from, again, the COVID year, where there's asterisks all over the place. We have yet to see it.
Where do you feel DeBoer falls in that? Like, is he in the high expectations that can actually win a natty, or is he in the latter?
It's got to be the hardest program to. It's such a moving target, right? What the expectation is.
I felt like they tried to get rid of him last year.
Yeah, I feel like Bama fans are all over the place with that, and any fan base would be when you move on from the era that was the Nick Saban era to Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer is one of the best college football coaches in the country. Like, the results, you look up and down his record as a head coach. He is one of the best in the country. I don't know, like, real quick, just as a head coach at the D1 level, starting at Fresno State in 2020, 3-3, I guess he, COVID year, 9-3, 11-2, 14-1, 9-4, 11-4. Kalen DeBoer is one of the best head coaches in the country. He acknowledged today that, yeah, it's probably the case that the Kalen DeBoer era at Alabama will be viewed as a disappointment if he doesn't win a national championship. He acknowledges that. But at what rate after what we saw from the Nick Saban era at Alabama? This is how he phrased it, Kalen DeBoer, on if he thinks his legacy at Bama will be contingent on winning a national title. He said, quote, "I wouldn't doubt that's the case. I'm not focused on that, just focused on bringing the best out of each person involved in the program." So that is one that at some point, as good as a coach as Kalen DeBoer is, in my opinion, if you don't cross that threshold at some point in the near future at Alabama, then yeah, the noise does get louder and louder, more so than I think a program like Oklahoma, where I think it's a little more polarizing.
What do we have to give away?
Oh, that's a great question. It wasn't updated this morning when I saw it, so hopefully it's updated now.
Okay, very good. We'll check the nebulous prize bucket because we do have the dumbest thing in sports this week. 615-737-1045. If you want to call in and tell us what the dumbest thing in sports this week is, you can win great prizes such as...
Yes, such as illustrious prizes. Tickets to go see the Foo Fighters August 15th at Nissan Stadium.
Very good. Foo Fighters tickets, 615-737-1045, the number. Just call in next and tell us what the dumbest thing in sports this week is. It's hot as hell outside, and the last thing you want is for your air conditioning to go out. But if it does, Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical is who you need to call. It's who I'll call. And you don't have to waste time waiting around for them to get there. When they're on their way, you'll get a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, because it's just the worst when you have a scheduled appointment. They give you a range, and you have no idea what it's going to cost or when they're going to get there. Especially if you don't have an intimate familiarity with air conditioning or plumbing or electrical issues, to make sure that they're fixed correctly. You want to make sure that someone's just not trying to sell you something. That's where Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical comes in, because they are an honest company. The price they tell you is the price you'll actually pay. No hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. 100% satisfaction guaranteed of happy you'll be, or the service is free. That's the Happy Hiller promise. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Book online today at happyhiller.com.
11:01, good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. SEC Media Days continuing in Tampa. Bama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M are making the rounds today. 3HL is live at 3 in Tampa, presented by Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. It is commitment day for five-star running back David Gabriel George out of Baylor School in Chattanooga. He is down to Tennessee, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. DGG announces his commitment at 4:30 this afternoon. Nashville SC back home tonight. The second game back from the World Cup break. They host Montreal with kickoff at 7:30. Pre-game coverage on the Zone is at 7. Nashville defending its spot at the top of the Major League Soccer standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
For the opportunity to win tickets to see the Foo Fighters, 615-737-1045. Call in and tell us, what's the dumbest thing in sports? I'll start. The NFL is the dumbest thing in sports. Lucas, this is gross revenue, not net revenue. But do you want to take a guess what the NFL made in gross national revenue last year?
Just tell me.
$14.5 billion. It's a decent amount of money.
Yes.
It is more in 2025 than the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL combined. Okay? Decent chunk of change. We are coming off of the World Cup, which has been enthralling and delightful and dramatic and all these different things, right? And we have seen in almost every stadium, certainly every stadium that the World Cup was hosted in, where NFL games are played, we have seen them put in natural grass for soccer players coming in here from around the world because FIFA, for all the bad things that FIFA does, FIFA's got it right as far as taking care of the players because natural grass.
As far as the grass is concerned.
As far as the grass is concerned. Fair enough. As far as the grass is concerned, FIFA's got that one right. The NFL is not going to do this. In fact, it is something that you saw players start to tweet messages of protest. Jeff Simmons was somebody who posted on his Instagram story.
Players have been talking about this, by the way. Like the moment World Cup preparation started and all of these stadiums, Atlanta, is MetLife turf?
Yes. Famously, it is one of the worst turf fields in the league. It is, Odell Beckham has blamed it for his ACL. Malik Neighbors has talked about his knee situation.
SoFi is turf?
SoFi, I believe, is turf.
Probably AT&T Stadium, too. All of these NFL stadiums that are turf fields.
I think every indoor stadium is turf except for Vegas and except for Arizona.
So it's just the amount of NFL stadiums that were utilized by FIFA in this World Cup that had grass fields for the entirety of the World Cup. Mm-hmm. And then they're probably in the process as we speak of
taking it away,
switching them back to turf.
They're taking it away.
So players have been on this for months.
So it's going to be something that's collectively bargained, and what's going to happen is the NFL is going to get in there and be like, all right, you want grass fields, split the cost with us. We'll go 50-50 with you in the collective bargaining. So what are you willing to give up to get natural grass if you're the NFL players? Because the owners are just not going to budge on this. It's something that I think is correct for the players to argue against, but you're talking about bottom line dollars and cents. The sheer amount of additional events that you can have at a new Nissan Stadium or an AT&T Stadium when you don't have to worry about grass maintenance for the football team, it's a significant amount of money that it would cost these owners as far as what they stand to make. Now, you would look around and say, why the hell do we care what owners could make based on the fact that you're talking about billionaires making yet even more money at the expense, in this sense, to the players. It's the dumbest thing in sports. I think they got the money to do it. I think it's a lot of hemming and hawing over nothing. I understand that I'm not paying the bills on that, but I think the players have a point. The NFL is the dumbest thing in sports this week.
The SEC is my dumbest thing in sports. And in solidarity with my friend Robert Walsh, I say this because the SEC put up a graphic of Alabama's schedule as Kalen DeBoer was speaking down at Media Days in Tampa. And week 1, the opponent listed for Alabama at home on September 5th is Eastern Carolina. Robert, I thought this was a sham. This was offensive to the fine institution that you call your alma mater. East Carolina University has never been Eastern. And so that is my dumbest thing in sports for you.
How long are they going to get away with this?
ESPN?
Oh, we're the biggest conference. Oh, we're better than everybody else. But you can't get somebody's name right?
What's it?
You can't get a school's
Was it
name
a TV graphic?
No. It was the graphic on the screen next to Kalen DeBoer.
So they're blatantly disrespecting you.
Yes. Very obviously. Michigan did not do this when they opened their season with us. It was East Carolina.
Well, we respect our opponents in the Big Ten.
It's just disrespectful. But I cannot wait to play Alabama week 1, and I'm sure it'll be a good time. Alabama. What a stupid, stupid thing.
Now you have to beat them.
You know what? I wasn't going to try before, but now we're going to take that ass
There's
down.
only one thing to do.
Now you must beat them.
I just need them to cover. I just need them to cover. If they cover,
is there an opening line?
Yeah,
on
I think
that
it's
game?
like 20-something and a half.
That sounds right.
A little higher than I'd like it to be, but we do have a higher talent composite than teams like Syracuse. But okay, keep disrespecting it.
It's a 26.5 point spread.
26.5. That's not bad. Normally, when bad schools play Alabama, it's like 40, 50.
Keep it within 4 touchdowns.
That's what I'm telling you. That's it. That's all they got to do. After we returned 15% of our production from last year, after the SEC and the ACC and the Big Ten and the Big 12 pillaged our talent roster,
right.
No big deal. It's fine. My dumbest thing in sports, a lot of very talented people have lost their jobs at ESPN.
Yes.
And a lot of people are pointing their fingers at Pat McAfee as being the impetus behind that.
Including on his show.
They're literally having
J.J.
conversations.
Watt did that on his show with Pat. I thought it was excellent TV. Pat was clear. You don't see McAfee uncomfortable very often. Very clearly not comfortable with the conversation.
It was good TV, but it's also in poor taste because people lost their jobs, even though if it isn't directly tied to it. And I get it. Pat McAfee's the one making the money. He's the one bringing in the money. So therefore, he is being paid the big money. I understand that.
Before we go on, just really quickly to your point about in poor taste, this is the NFL players' entire existence. Roster cuts. Like they, in the same way that we shrug off veterans getting cut that are making too much money or whatever. Like this is their day-to-day. So that they would be a little blasé about it, a little casual about it, does not surprise me. Anyway.
So in the face of that, I'm glad that McAfee put something out. I'm glad that he stood up in front of the class and said, you know what? If you want to say these things about me, say them about me.
Yep.
This morning, he put this statement out. For as long as I can remember, my mere existence has made people hate my guts. I've been writing songs about it for about 20 years, and it's time to let them out. A lot of headlines and narratives. If I was to die, I'd like my kids to know exactly who their dad was. August 14th, Pat McAfee's album is released. This has literally never worked for anyone. Sans Roy Jones Jr., who was actually a decent rapper. Damian Lillard, who's actually a decent rapper, but it's done nothing for his music career.
Remember Arian Foster?
Mm-hmm.
Was he a big rapper when he was?
He was.
Anthony Richardson.
He was putting stuff
when
out
I
recently.
researched this, apparently Pele is a big musical guy. Did you know Pele has released hundreds of songs, Lucas?
Hundreds.
So is Ronaldinho.
Oh, okay. So if you have the money to get someone to produce your music, anyone can be a superstar.
Yeah.
Evidence in Max Crosby. Did you guys see his Raiders Way music video?
No. God, it's so bad.
It was the first thing that made me go, besides the health issues that the Ravens saw, is like, I'm glad that song wasn't Ravens Way. I'm glad that You know what? Maybe Eric DaCosta made a good decision. The lyrics that are on the graphic for this Pat McAfee album, by the way, I want to read these to you. So many things said, only hateful break through. I wonder if when I'm dead, they will ever tell the truth. Oh, bars. Oh, you're so polarizing,
wait
Pat.
Another day.
Pat, you're so polarizing. Yeah, I would not have.
The day after everybody gets fired and people know you're making $60 million a year.
The problem is he does right by his staff.
Yeah, sure.
Like when he gets paid all this money, he makes sure that they are also paid and compensated well.
No, he does. He is aggregate. He's net good.
Yes.
Pat McAfee is net good. I don't want people to think that he's some kind of villain just because he doesn't seem to have self-awareness.
But because he does that for his staff, I think he is surrounded by yes men because he's putting on for all of them.
Sure.
So when he tells them, hey, I'm going to cut an album with all these songs I've been writing, no one has the balls to come up and say, Pat, we have a really, really good thing going, and I don't think that that's the best use of our resources.
Well, he's famously temperamental. You know, like, do you remember that whole Ryan Day thing where, like, there was just a miscommunication between the people that booked that show and the Ohio State media people, and he thought that Ryan Day was, like, actively shirking them, so he went on this rant with Kirk Herbstreit on the show. Like, he's got some hypersensitivities and whatever. Like he's a creative, he's highly entertaining, highly energetic, all these different things, but he's got some sore spots. So if you're the cash cow, Robert, or if you are attached to the cash cow, are you walking up to the cash cow and be like, hey bud, maybe not the day for that because he may cut you out.
If you say a bunch of our fellow 104.5 The Zone people got fired. And the day after, you were like, hey, everyone, I'm announcing my Buck Rising wine tasting along the river.
Which, of course, I would.
I would probably say, hey, let's push this back. Like, and if you were to be temperamental with me, I would eat it. But I would want your best interest. I hope you think that I have you in the show's best interests at heart, and I wouldn't lead you down a path of neglect.
I don't think either of you have my best interest in mind. Ever.
Be that as it may. His album comes out August 14th, The Diary of a Polarizing Figure. Woof, dude. Couldn't come up with a better title than that.
Brent says, I believe he gave all of his people a $250,000 bag. I don't know what that is, but he's making $60 million a year. So that's consequential. But again, next to the $60 million a year that he's making, I don't like these conversations though, because I'm not mad at him.
No, I just think the album's dumb. That's my overarching.
The album is poorly timed. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll be like Adam Sandler. It'll be like a comedy album, right? That's the
right. Yes, Pat McAfee and Adam Sandler,
the good old Sandman.
I mean, he can't be doing a serious album.
I think he's literally saying I'm a polarizing figure. People have told me I'm going to work at a gas station, so I wrote songs about it. I don't think this is going to be if it is, it's one of the best swerves that's ever happened. That would be the swerve of all swerves if it is a comedy Macho Man-esque album. But
I think that's what it has to be. It has to be that. Like his whole thing, he started doing stand-up when he was still playing for the Colts, because I remember he went to all these small towns around Indiana and did like stand-up shows. Yeah, it's poorly timed. It's poorly timed. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. What's the dumbest thing in sports this week? For the opportunity to win Foo Fighters tickets to their upcoming show at Nissan Stadium. Let's start with Tim in Murfreesboro.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Man, my dumbest thing in sports is the NBA and this LeBron James soap opera going on. I just think it's crazy. They're still talking and treating this guy like he's the number one NBA guy still out there. Dude, he's 41. Move on, do your scheduling, do what you got to do, move on. They're acting like he's still the young LeBron leaving Cleveland, going to Miami. Man, go on, LeBron, retire, put out House Party 2. That's my dumbest thing in sports.
Thanks for the call, Tim. Remember to stay on hold for the opportunity to win those tickets. We are all agreed that LeBron James decision this is part 4. It's a little tired. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be interesting to see him go back to Miami with Giannis, but I my interest will peak when he does something as opposed to what he might do. I think Tim is spot on that. Nico is in Tennessee.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Well, my dumbest thing is the Argentinians. The disrespect they show to Spain and to all of us. It's just ridiculous, man.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? You cut out
you said
right when you said.
Argentina. I think you just Argentina
Oh,
in general.
sorry.
Sunday.
Yeah, the Argentina soccer team, man, that disrespect. Turning it back when they were when they were hosting the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's just so disrespectful for everybody.
Thank you for the call. So they did not show up to their post-match media availability?
Oh, every player walked right past the mix zone where media is sitting there waiting for various players. It was
they're bad losers.
Yeah. Oh,
like
they're horrendous losers.
Famously bad losers, even at the end of that match, right? Where they're just turning it into a rock fight.
Petulance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough look. Jordan is in Nashville, and then we'll pick a winner.
Hey guys, my dumbest thing in sports are the USC Trojans. On Thursday night, they tweeted out, "Our Odyssey begins August 29th," with a sword emoji. The author went to the movie on Monday. The athletic department knows the Odyssey is a story about people trying to get home after winning a war against the Trojans. I thought USC was an elite institution.
Thank you for the call.
That's the winner. That was the dumbest thing.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
Didn't they have something like that recently, the USC social media people, where they just screwed something up historically, and you're
I feel like the answer is yes, but I can't remember.
I don't remember exactly either. But this one was
so bad.
You would think that they would know the history of Troy.
So the tweet was, "Our Odyssey begins August 29th," with a sword emoji and a picture that like looks like a movie poster with like the top of the helmet of the Greek helmet and has the date 8/29/26, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, and the ratio.
It's bad.
It's just like, oh.
Did they leave? They left the tweet up, though.
It's up. They never took it down.
I love seeing all the other schools that are Spartans dunking on them, like San Jose State quote tweeting it and being like, "Guys, UNCG and North Carolina's like, have you read the book?" Like all of the other Spartan schools are like, I think you missed the point of the assignment here.
Well done, Jordan.
The Trojan horse is not a good thing for you.
So to go back to the Pat McAfee thing really quickly, someone in the chat let me know that the single for the album is already out. It is titled Dookie.
No way.
Yes, it came out in December of last year. I listened to it. I was going to play you a snippet of it, but it says the F word right before the hook, so I cannot do that. But it is...
Is it Dookie?
It's pretty mid. Pretty Dookie. Kind of like a very campy, sing-songy.
But is it funny? Like, is it meant to be funny?
I'll play you a piece of the beginning of it where he doesn't cuss. Let me make sure we don't get copyrighted by Pat because he has the money to sue us.
Sure.
Nah, I'm
okay,
good.
yeah. So it's just like basically could have been made in AI.
Yeah, I'm rhyming.
Yeah.
And I'm rhyming E-words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody should have said no. Somebody should have said no.
Damn. That's pretty bad.
And like the thing is, it would have to be like...
I don't want to hate on the guy because he's trying creative things. I don't know.
It would have to be like really, really good. Like people are going to dismiss it immediately. So you already
he knows he's going to put this thing out and it's going to get panned, right?
Like you're already doing it on hard mode because you're not an artist. You're not, this up and comer. You're Pat McAfee. So when people see you're dropping an album, their eyes are going to roll into the back of their head. So it does have to actually be good if you want any hope. Like not just, oh, that's kind of catchy. So
You think they're just sitting around burning one? Him and his boys, they're listening to it and like, yeah, Pat, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
In the music video, it's him and Jelly and all of his other...
Oh, Jelly's in
it? So I'm sure these other people
it kind of sounds like a Jelly song.
Some of these people are like gassing him up and being like, yeah, you could do this, I'll help.
I'm sure he had help from people in the music industry.
I'm sure. It's just bad.
But that's what it sounds like when you have help.
Man.
I can't wait to hear like track 7. Like, what? Punting on life.
Jordan's the winner, right?
Yeah,
With the
we
USC
agree. Jordan is the winner. Well done. Jordan is going to go see Foo Fighters at Nissan Stadium for their upcoming show. NFL teams are reporting. Well, what do you want to do here, Lucas? Do you want to do NFL teams reporting today and a little bit of a one big thing on those two, or do you want to do your one big thing for the SEC programs?
Look at the teams reporting.
Next.
All right, it's here. Training camp is here. Not quite for the Titans, but around the NFL. And we are officially 1 week away from Titans training camp. We will be on location out of the Titans facility next Wednesday before pads come on, but it is here. Arizona and Carolina reporting today. Now, why are they reporting a week ahead of everybody else?
Hall of Fame game.
Yes. Man, that's a brutal Hall of Fame game. Like they're always... Hall of Fame game is what it is.
Everybody get excited. The NFL is back. Whoa, Carolina, Arizona.
That's a rough one.
I'll be watching.
Everybody, we'll all be watching.
I will too. Yeah.
Like, I remember last year's Hall of Fame game actually, like, having some intrigue because it was like, oh, wait a minute.
It was like the Chargers.
Is it Joe Milton?
Trey Lance. Kind of balled a little bit for the Chargers.
Was it Chargers Cowboys? Is that right?
It was Chargers Lions. It was Hooker, not Milton. Hooker was terrible in that game. He was awful in that game. And Trey Lance was kind of good, but it was just like, hey, there's two quarterbacks whose names we know.
I know you.
I guess we'll see Carson Beck and who's going to start for the Panthers at quarterback.
In that game? Oh, who is? Wait, it's not still Dalton, is it? Who the hell is the Panthers?
No, Dalton is on the Eagles. I'll give you guys
an interesting backup quarterback.
Give us some clues. Robert.
Okay. One of them was in college football last year. The other one is on his fourth team before the end of his rookie contract. He was a former first-round pick.
He
was on two teams last year.
On his fourth.
Actually, this would be his fifth team. Former first-round pick for a team in the AFC North.
AFC North. Oh, Pickett?
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
So
wow,
Pickett
that's
is
a good
Panther.
pull for you.
And then give me a hint on the.
He's still on his rookie contract.
He was one of the older starting college quarterbacks last year. Started for a team with a very strong run game. He himself was a big proponent of that strong run game.
You'd have a better chance at this than I would.
Oh,
in the ACC. Brent Keys was his coach.
Oh, okay. It was Haynes King. Okay.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. All right. You know what?
Haynes King is going to be fun.
Yeah, he's going to be fun.
Haynes King in a Hall of Fame game because he's just going to be lowering his shoulder against
Haynes King was made for the Hall of Fame game. Yeah. So Carson Beck throwing picks and Haynes King running straight into people is going to be the Hall of Fame game.
They may even save Carson Beck. It may be former USC, if I'm not mistaken, a 5-star, Keaton Slovis is fourth-string quarterback for the
Cardinals.
Oh, man.
Because you can't put Minshew out there, right? You don't know if you're going to have to start him or not. Because Jacoby Brissett is holding out.
I thought he came back.
No, Jacoby Brissett is holding out. It's the best holdout ever.
Yeah, it is. Do you think, no way Jeremiah Love plays, right? He's way too important.
No, they have 7,000 running backs.
Way too important for the worst team in the NFL.
Algier signed a big contract. He's feeling good. All right, buddy, get out there in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, dude, I would imagine you wouldn't see Love, Algier, or Connor, or
You're
Trey
not going to see
Benson.
Ted McMillan. You're not going to see any of these guys.
You are going to see NC State royalty, Bam Knight.
Okay.
I'm actually intrigued by the Cardinals.
I'm back in.
The Jacoby Brissett holdout, the laundry list of running backs, including the number 4 overall pick, or not number 4 overall pick. Oh, where did he go? 3?
3.
They're just weird. So I'm intrigued by the weirdness of the Cardinals, even if it likely leads to the worst record in the NFL this year.
No, I don't. I think they're still better than the Dolphins and the Jets, right? Who would you take, Cardinals or Jets today?
Yeah,
I think I would take the Jets.
Yeah, anybody but the Jets.
But if you're looking at records at the end of the year, the Cardinals are not going to get a divisional win.
No.
The Dolphins could beat the Jets.
But if you dropped, let's say you dropped the Cardinals into the AFC, you dropped them into the Jets division, okay, with the Dolphins and the Jets, the Bills and the Patriots, right? Bills and Patriots are good. The Cardinals would win 5 games if they were in a lesser division. If you put them in the NFC South, right? They could win 5 games. It's the fact that they're in the NFC West, that they're in the worst possible division. If they're going to do what the Titans did last year and not win a single divisional game.
Yeah, it's tough because I don't hate their roster. I think
Cardinals?
they have a lot of fun players.
So young, though.
Yeah.
So young. Like you would need guys to stay healthy and be meaningful contributors right out of the gate at so many different positions. I think I have so much respect for Jacoby Brissett not wanting to just be a punching bag out there and no, you're going to pay me. If I'm going to get smoked behind this offensive line, you're going to make it worth my time.
2 former Titans that are on the Cardinals you might enjoy watching.
What positions?
Linebacker and tackle.
Tackle?
He was probably the best swing tackle the Titans have had in like the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh my God, I'm going to blank on this dude's name. He did play in Houston.
It's all consonants. I mean, all vowels.
I can picture him. I can't.
Oli Udoh.
Oli Udoh.
And Dr. Gibby.
Oh, because he signed like a legit contract.
I believe legit.
Not like a
Right. He's not making vet minutes.
high level. Yeah,
so.
Good for Dr. Gibby.
Yeah, I mean he's still going after it. This is like his 6th, 5th year in the league. You mentioned Arizona as a weird team, and you're right. Carolina is a weird team, but Carolina I'm kind of excited about.
They got some really, really bad news yesterday that they don't know the severity of.
Is it J.C. Horn?
Starting right tackle. J.C. Horn, I'm glad you brought him up. He is going to be on the non-compete list because he had a small...
You mean PUP?
PUP, excuse me. He had a small issue with his foot that he had to get stitches for. He should be back soon.
Okay.
Their right tackle Taylor Moton.
It's a good player.
Good player. They found out that he has blood clots.
Oh.
So he is going to miss the beginning of the season. They don't know how long he's going to be out, but they think he should be able to return. That is a compound issue for them.
What's their schedule? Because he can't like fly like a normal person until they get that figured out.
Right. But, I mean, without the flying portion of it, they were already going to be out without Ike Ekwonu, their left tackle, which is why they went out and signed Rasheed Walker and drafted Monroe Freeling.
What's wrong with Ike Ekwonu? He has not been worth the first-round pick. I mean, I know he got better. But
he got hurt last year, late in the year. They don't expect him to be back anytime soon. So they could be starting 2 brand-new tackles to the team, one a rookie, the other a guy that you scooped off free agency, and ask the Titans how well free agent tackle acquisitions go, especially early on.
How many games is Arizona projected to win next year? Because they have to be, I mean, you're talking about who are the 3 worst teams in the league? It has to include the Jets. Or does it? Would you take the Jets or the Browns? Geno Smith or whoever?
Browns.
You would take Shador or Deshaun over Geno.
Yeah. I think overall talent-wise, outside of quarterback.
No, I think the Browns have the better defense. I think the Jets might have the better offensive unit. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson.
I think the Jets are a bigger. I think the Jets are a bigger clown show than the Browns right now. Like that, nothing.
That's a crazy statement.
Not one thing about the Aaron Glenn experience so far.
Carrot Top, the Jets fan, is vigorously nodding his head.
Like I don't know, man. The Jets somehow don't get enough credit for how much of a clown show they are as an organization.
I don't think that's true. I think the fact that a New York team is not on national television once tells you everything you need to know about the clown show. I don't know, but we need to be talking about the Jets like we talk about the Browns. I feel like the Browns are the clown. We absolutely do.
But who's the clown show face of the NFL?
Oh.
When you think dumpster fire clown show in the National Football League, we should be thinking Jets.
And that's top to bottom because the owner is a goober.
Top to bottom.
Talking about Madden ratings.
They still haven't done anything as dumb as Andrew Barry did. Deshaun Watson is the worst contract in the history of the sport.
Now.
I know, but it sunk them for how many years are we talking about?
I agree, but like that's one decision that blew up in their face.
They were trying huge decision.
But they were trying to right a wrong of their franchise's past. They haven't had a franchise quarterback ever. So I'm never going to fault somebody who, by the way, Deshaun Watson, all of that blew up after the fact, after the trade. The massage thing was not a thing before he got traded. There were accusations, but there was no proof behind it.
I think there was a loud enough noise.
There was noise, but there wasn't.
He hadn't gone through the whole legal procedure.
There wasn't legal. There wasn't reporting. Like there had just been claims made that, hey, this had happened.
Who do y'all think has the worst odds to win the Super Bowl?
The Cardinals.
The Dolphins.
It's the Cardinals.
Really? Worse than the Dolphins?
They're never going to get out of the NFC.
The Cardinals are plus 100,000.
The Dolphins are going to get out of the AFC?
They have a much better chance than the Cardinals do.
NFC West is a much better division.
For sure.
The Cardinals are plus 100,000 to win the Super Bowl. The Dolphins are plus 75,000.
You've never seen plus 100,000 on Super Bowl odds.
The Jets are plus 40,000. That's your bottom 3.
Jets, Dolphins, Browns? Or actually, excuse me.
Cardinals.
Cardinals over the Browns.
Browns are plus 22,500.
Okay.
I really like the Browns' young talent. The last 2 to 3 drafts they've had,
no, I agree.
They have just knocked it out of the park.
I think their defense is still good. I mean, it's not like Myles Garrett good, but it's still Jared Verse good.
They'll be really good on defense. On offense, I think that's the biggest question. But they have pieces to help them. Harold Fannin, you got him in the 3rd round. He was really good as a rookie. Quinshon Judkins was better than serviceable as a rookie. They spent a 1st and a 2nd round pick on a left tackle, a wide receiver, and then went and got Denzel Boston in the 2nd round. Like they have a huge influx of youth.
Clown show face of the league is a good question because I feel like the rate you talk about teams that don't get enough credit for being a clown show. Lucas, the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets, I think, get plenty of
credit.
No,
we don't talk about the Raiders.
The Raiders are just a nightmare.
Yep.
And I know there's an assumed level of competency here lately because of Tom Brady, but it didn't play a factor last year.
They had a longer stretch of competency, at least at the quarterback position with Derek Carr, than either the Browns or Jets have had in generations.
The Jets tried to sign.
I think a guy that recency bias has ruined our opinion on them is the Commanders. The Commanders are also a clown show organization. Before their new general manager and front office got in, and they had 1 year of winning, and now we kind of include them in those middle-tier teams when they really just had one fantastic year, and then last year felt like getting closer to the norm, regressing to the mean.
Yeah, I don't think of them as poorly run anymore just because the worst owner in pro sports across any sport, Dan Snyder, is gone. Like, he was worse than Woody. He was worse than Irsay. He was worse than Haslam. He's worse than all of them, right? Has there ever been a worse NFL or pro sports owner? What was the woman's name for the Cincinnati Reds? Wasn't she super racist? Marge Schott, famously. So maybe she is in the Dan Snyder category. But and Donald Sterling for the Clippers. But that's basically the list. 615-737. So you've talked yourself into this Hall of Fame game. See how easy that was?
Sure. I was always going to watch it, at least for the first couple quarters.
There's an article in the Tennessean today on why the Preds should trade Shea Weber. So we're going to talk about that coming up next. All right, so I misspoke and the chat got me. I said Shea Weber. I meant Roman Josi. Shea Weber's obviously been traded from this franchise 10 years ago. My bad. But Alex Doherty in the Tennessean has written a column 10 years after Shea Weber, why the Preds should trade Captain Roman Josi. How significant of a move would that be to the contingent of Preds fans, diehard Preds fans that are still holding on despite the organization having bottomed out these last couple of years?
I don't know where Preds fans stand. I think, obviously, the excitement of finally going outside the Preds family to bring in Chris McFarland was a good thing. But in terms of the roster, is there any element of wanting to hang on to this core amongst the fan base? Because I would think for the most part, it's, no, let's finally tear this thing down. And nobody is more fundamental to the Nashville Predators as an organization. No active player is more fundamental to the Preds organization than Roman Josi. So that would be tearing it down. It would signify that. And nobody has probably played at a higher level that you could probably get the biggest return for than Roman Josi, I would think.
You don't think you can get more for Forsberg if you try to move Forsberg?
Not being an expert in the current hockey trade market, I would think it would be fairly similar. Forsberg at 31 is coming off another 40-goal season.
That was good.
Third of his career with the Preds. Roman Josi just turned 36. I don't know, but I agree with everything Alex is saying in this article. It's very different, right? That's what he points out, that the Shea Weber thing was a short-term, sort of a way to catapult the Preds in the short term, and it resulted in them getting to the Stanley Cup final. This would be so much more of a long-term thing, something that Preds fans, I feel like, have been wanting for a few years now. Any sort of long-term reboot, as much as it would suck on the front end.
So Alex points out he has 2 years remaining on his contract, Josi, at 36 years old. His playing career beyond that is unclear, given his injury history. He was dealing with something coming into last year's training camp, if I'm not mistaken, that was giving him some level of issues. I need to go back and look at his health history over the last couple of years, because I know he has had something that wasn't like a broken bone or something like that.
No, it was POTS.
Oh, the condition that makes your heart rate elevated at any given point.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously something that would be problematic if you're a professional athlete. So his case for why the Preds should trade Roman Josi is this. When the Preds traded Weber for PK Subban 10 years ago, the objective was different. Trading Josi would be a long play, as Lucas mentioned. The Preds are not a cup contender like they were in 2016. They might not even be a playoff team, despite Chris McFarland's roster upgrades this summer. Cashing out the team's best defenseman for future winnings is a smart move, short-term pain, long-term gain. I mean, I feel like they're in a position where they can eat some more short-term pain, right? It's not like interest or attendance is going to get significantly worse than it are. And I admittedly, you've been to more Preds games in the last year than I have. I went to their season opener 2 years ago. That's the last time I've been in the building. And the environment was significantly less. And, the team has been significantly less. You went to a few this year, and they had moments of competency, right? Stamkos looked a lot better this year than he did last year. Forsberg obviously was still accomplished as a goal scorer, but they were pushing at the end, but they didn't get there.
Yes.
For the postseason.
They got off to the worst start in franchise history.
Yeah.
And then bounced back in a way that was impressive, but still fell short of the postseason. But the thing is, if you are going to wipe the slate clean, either wipe the slate clean or don't. And so it's great that they went out and got Chris McFarland. By all accounts, it was a good hire. All the notes, the footnotes on his resume, exactly what you would want outside of what they've typically done as an organization. They have multiple new executives in the front office. They made some signings in the offseason, but they bring back Andrew Burnett as the head coach. So they bring back the coaching staff with some changes. So I don't know. I'd love to hear from Preds fans on this, and if any would be inclined to call in, 615-737-1045. Do you want the Preds to just wipe the slate clean because they're already not doing that by retaining the coaching staff? That surely isn't going to have that long of a leash, right? So if you're going to rebuild for the long term and you understand the lumps you're going to take up front, what sense does it make to have Andrew Burnett in charge of that rebuild, unless you want him to be your sacrificial lamb as a coach while you build this roster in the image that you really want it to look like.
How is their timeline so exactly the same as the Titans was? Because this is the exact same thing the Titans did with Callahan. I mean, I don't remember. You may not remember strongly either. Did you want him fired at the end of his first season? Because I know I did. I came in here the day after. I know I was kind of skirting around it, and you guys were like, all right, just say what you want to say. And I said they both should be fired today for what that season looked like. And they fired Rand and not Callahan.
Yeah, I thought if they were going to fire
Clean house.
Rand, clean house, yeah.
So we would have been correct, right? Because instead of, I mean, you talk about the blueprint for how not to handle things around a number 1 overall pick. You bring back the coach that half the building doesn't want back in there anyway, around a number 1 overall pick at quarterback. You then take the play calling away from that head coach, so the quarterback has to then adjust in real time. 2 weeks after you take the play calling from the coach, you fire the coach, and there's yet more upheaval around the young quarterback, and Cam's tough enough to get through it or whatever, but you ran so many different risks on how to screw that up. And he's in a situation where he expects to be surrounded by significantly better support in year 2. Hockey is obviously not a total parallel to what the Preds are doing around to what the Titans are doing around a quarterback situation. But how do you not just look down the road and be like, those guys screwed it up so badly? Shouldn't we just reset the board too? And I think trades are a part of that. I think if you are in a situation where, like the Preds or where the Titans were just a few years ago, you have to just reset the board to 0 if you are in a situation to do so. I think you're 100% right about that.
I wonder what the toughest contract to move on from is on this roster. Is it UC Saros and the deal that Barry Trotz gave him? I mean, Roman Josi has 2 years left on his deal. Like, it feels like if you're going to move on from Josi, now would be the time. Either you trade him this offseason or Roman Josi retires a Predator.
Because he's still good.
Yeah. Like,
at 36 years old, he's still good.
Getting as much as you can for Roman Josi. And the other point Alex makes is that it is for Yosi's sake. Send him somewhere where he can contend for a cup.
What if it's like Jeff, though, where he doesn't want to go?
Sure.
Because the better thing for Jeff would have been to send him somewhere else. And he's been adamant at every turn. He doesn't want to go anywhere. Now, I don't know what Yosi's feeling on the situation is.
Yeah.
But do you take that into consideration?
That's the information we do not have.
If you're an executive, though, do you take that into consideration if Roman Josi says, no, I don't want to leave? This is my home. I don't want to uproot my family. I don't want my family to have to go months without me.
To an extent. I mean, Matt Duchene didn't want to leave. Now, Matt Duchene did not have the roots in Nashville that Josi did. But, yeah, no, fair enough for a franchise legend like that.
Like, I think you have to take it into consideration. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's in the best interest of the organization. And that's probably moving him right now. All right, final hour. Coming up next, we're going to get back to some SEC Media Days coverage. Bama, Florida, Ole Miss, and A&M all at the podium throughout the course of the day. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
Coming right up on 12 o'clock. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. SEC Media Days in Tampa, Day 3. Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M, the ones making the rounds. 3HL is broadcasting live in Tampa, starting at 3, presented by Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. It is commitment day for 5-star running back David Gabriel George out of Baylor School in Chattanooga. He is down to Tennessee, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. DGG will announce his commitment at 4:30 this afternoon. Nashville SC is back home tonight, the second game back from the World Cup break as they host Montreal. Kickoff at 7:30. Pregame coverage on the Zone starts at 7. Nashville defending its spot at the top of the MLS standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Got more SEC Media Days conversation headed your way here in just a little while. Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and A&M are all teams, programs taking the podium today in Tampa. Tampa is where 3HL is broadcasting live. We have any idea who they have on today? They've had Clark Lee. They've had Will Stein. They've had Josh Heupel. A lot of people they've had Alex Golesh. Did you get a chance to listen to the Alex Golesh interview yet? You're shaking your head at me? You're shaking your head at me?
No, I was talking to Robert.
Okay.
What'd you ask me?
Did you listen to the Alex Golesh interview yet?
I haven't gotten a chance to listen to Golesh.
Okay. Are you interested in Alex Golesh this year?
I like hearing Alex Golesh talk. Like, he's a psycho.
Do you miss him?
Yes.
Is there some longing?
No, I mean, Tennessee's offense, whatever they had, that dynamic.
Robert watching Giants John Harbaugh clips back there?
Oh, have you seen the one that came out today?
Pretty cringy.
It's a little cringe.
It's a little cringy.
I miss John.
We'll get to you in a second.
Well,
Continue on your Alex Golesh thing. I feel rude for interrupting, Lucas.
No, you start.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Now, whatever dynamic Heupel and Golesh had operating the offense, Tennessee, I mean, it's a fact, has not reached those heights from an operational standpoint. Like, yes, they got back to being one of the most explosive offenses in the SEC last year, but there were undeniable game management issues for Heupel. Like, that's the biggest thing from a self-scouting perspective, I would think, for Heupel going into this year, the game management and clock management, which has never been his absolute forte. His forte is fielding an explosive offense that puts defenses in really tough situations. But Alex Golesh and the trust that he had from Josh Heupel to help run that offense, I don't know that Joey Halsley has reached that yet under Heupel. Auburn fans are really excited about Alex Golesh. He's the type of coach that's easy to get excited about when you listen to him talk.
So we'll get to Robert's longing for John Harbaugh from a distance. You have the John Harbaugh. It's not his first team meeting with the Giants, but it is one of his first ahead of training camp.
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here. You excited?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a little nervous?
Nope.
Huh? A little nervous? I'm a little nervous, man. I'm nervous, excited nervous, you know? Nervous like you're full of game almost, man. It's like, give this thing kick off. I'm standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. It's the New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants. Wow, it's an honor. It's an honor to stand in front of this room right now. And I know those coaches back there feel the same way, right, coaches? Sir. It's an honor, man. We've been working, haven't we? We've been working early and we're late getting ready for today. Today. Sitting in this chair, this seat, getting to work, getting started, our beginning. Because this is where it all begins, together.
The dramatic.
Sounded like the Odyssey score.
That's the guy who didn't prepare for the project that gets in front of the teachers. It's like, we've been working. We've been working early. Been working late. You guys are sitting here because this is Philosophy 101. This is Philosophy 101. We're here to do what? Philosophize. And that's what we're going to do today. You guys excited? You're not excited? No nerves? I got nerves. I'm nervous about philosophy. I guess that's my philosophy. What's your philosophy? He's just a guy that has no clue what he just.
You ready to get started? Ready to get going? This is the beginning. How many more synonyms for a start point can John Harbaugh come up with in front of his New York Giants?
The
team?
Genesis Giants.
The Genesis Giants.
He did address the Cam Scatterbo flip, which we hadn't talked about.
Oh, Jesus.
Could have been probably should have been the dumbest thing in sports.
No.
Cam Scatterbo, what was the event he was at, Robert?
Fanatics Fest.
It was a Fanatics Fest, yeah. And he tried to do a backflip and didn't land it.
Nope.
Didn't get hurt, but could have. And John Harbaugh was on the Giants Believe Network podcast and said his reaction was, I haven't talked to him yet. I'm going to talk with him, I'm sure. My reaction was this, dude, at least stick it. I mean, land the thing if you're going to do it, you know? He said, but he's going to be ready to go. He's been working super hard. He's been training like crazy, but that was not.
Moron.
Yeah.
Nobody is surprised that Cam Scatterbo is not intelligent.
Yeah. At some point, what do they say? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. It's like Cam Scatterbo's doing that, I feel like.
It's like people were outraged when he said he didn't believe in CTE. I go, you look at the human being you're talking to.
Yeah.
You're surprised he doesn't believe in brain trauma.
What would be like a push notification you could get about Cam Scatterbo that would be unbelievable?
He got into Harvard.
Like what are you going to push?
He went back to school.
I was going to say he went back to get another degree or something.
You get a push from Adam Schefter that's like, Cam Scatterbo suffered an injury this weekend on the July 4th when he swallowed a firework. He, quote, thought it was candy.
That's right.
He'll be sidelined for a week and a half.
Correct.
Would believe that in a heartbeat.
I would absolutely believe it. Ooh, piece of candy.
It's shiny. No, scat.
Who's
going to stop him? Dart?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
The other one?
Made for each other.
I mean, we don't have like a giant segment boxed out here, and we're going to get some phone calls. We got some phone calls on the Preds here in just a second. But, like, people are optimistic about the Giants, and I'm looking around being like, Neighbors isn't playing football. The quarterback is a meathead, and the running back is even worse. John Harbaugh's going to fix all of this? Their defensive line is shaky without Dexter Lawrence. Like, I know they got some good players, and I like Abdul Carter a lot. But, I mean, there are a lot of questions on that defense.
Cringy coaches are on a hot streak, though.
Sure.
Sirianni,
Dan
talking
Campbell.
about Dan Campbell, Liam Cohen.
What's PJ Fleck up to?
Rowing the boat. Still rowing.
I mean, I think Drink is like the cringiest besides Nebraska head coach Matt Rule. Matt Rule and Drink are also two of the cringiest coaches.
Is Matt Rule cringy?
Yes.
Beamer is as well.
Beamer is very.
Beamer is now. Beamer at the start, it was like, oh, cute. He's got some enthusiasm. He's doing the thing. And then, 6 years later or whatever, and they haven't won anything.
And PJ Fleck quietly just keeps doing his thing at Minnesota, winning 8 games.
Throwing
just
that ball, baby. Yeah. He's like the Norwegians.
There may not be a more we are what we are program than 8-5 Minnesota.
It's perfect. He can be bald in his pullovers and row the boat. He doesn't need it.
Have you guys, before we take the call, have you guys seen this John Summerall clip?
No. Lucas may have.
I might have mentioned. Which one is it?
Somebody set him off.
Oh, yeah, the cell phone clip.
How things were going to unfold. And you'd be kicked out of our team meeting. I swear. Like, you're lucky I'm not going to throw this freaking podium right now. Like, drives me crazy. I would say, who is that? But I'm not going to embarrass anybody. But no.
Someone's phone went off in the.
They're laughing, and he is so real right there. If he could throw a podium at a human being, he would do it.
I'm telling you, John Summerall is kind of bringing the juice at media days. Like another coach that, when you listen to him talk.
Doesn't know any better.
You can see why Florida fans would be excited.
Sure, until the conference gets a hold of him and beats him down. See you next year, John. 615-737-1045. We were talking earlier in the show about the column in the Tennessean Today advocating that Roman Josi should be traded 10 years after the Shea Weber trade for the benefit of the Preds. We do have a Preds call here. Josh is in Bowling Green.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay, I'll just make sure.
Hello?
Hello?
Don't do that.
So,
Robert, don't do that.
I was going to say that as a fan, obviously, you want to see Josi, Forsberg, Saros. You want to see those guys retire as Predators, especially with Yossi's case. Like, he's got a Hall of Fame resume. His number's going to be retired. I would want to see him retire as a Predator. But there's not a lot of number one D-men out there. And I don't think we don't have a good D-core, and there's no one close to Roman Josi. So you're going to get a lot worse if you trade Roman Josi. And at the same time, you look at a lot of the teams that have won the Cup in the past few years, they've got cores that have been there for a while, established that culture, like Stamkos with the Lightning and Hedman, and every team has guys that have been there for like a decade that kind of represent that team. And I think if you want to win a Cup, you probably want guys like Josi and Forsberg and Saros around. Now, are you going to have to add pieces? Absolutely. Roman Josi can't be doing everything by himself. With Brady Shea as our second-best defenseman, Josi, that's, in my opinion, why Josi wasn't as good last year. He's having to do every 200 feet of the ice.
All right, that's 60 seconds on the call, Josh. We appreciate it. You can't hear the Oscars music, but the audience can. Okay. Smart ass.
I mean, I get that what he's saying, but that's what the trade compensation's for, right? Like that sort of.
Don't be so tickled with yourself. All right.
The hello stuff gets me so good. And then
hello?
Hello? Hello?
The way you make yourself sound like a feeble old person in that moment. Like, not like, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Dad?
A little bit of fear. Go ahead, Lucas. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
Well, they're not trying to get better if they trade him, right? They're trying to bottom out and prepare for the future. If they trade him, they're not trying to win a Stanley Cup definitively.
Which, like, maybe that is what would make bringing back Andrew Burnett make sense, right? Somebody's got to coach the team while you're bottoming out. So who knows?
Maybe.
Fall guy? I mean, right? Because if Andrew Burnett...
Was Brian Callahan a fall guy? No, they tried to bring him back.
If Andrew Burnett is coming back with an eye towards being as competitive as you can be this coming season for the Preds.
And they take Roman Josi away from him.
We're already talking about Andrew Burnett as a coach that's not going to have a terribly long leash, that almost any other GM in the league would have fired a year ago, but Barry Trotz didn't because he's got that former coach mindset that he talks about all the time. So if Andrew Burnett already is on a short leash, it doesn't make a ton of sense to bring him back for that long-term build where you're going to have to basically eat it up front. What would make more sense is bringing Andrew Burnett back for you to eat it up front, and then when you get to the roster, get the roster to a place that you feel now is more of a foundation for what you can build on, go get your guy. Like, it's kind of tough on Andrew Burnett, but hell, to me, that would make more sense than hiring a new GM and let's build on this coach that already is on that fringe in terms of hot seat conversation.
615-737-1045 is the number. Do you guys get into stadium renderings at all?
No.
Even the baseball one? The baseball one was my favorite.
Ooh, this is what it's going to look like. Call me when it's starting to look like what it's going to look like.
Adam Schefter.
Call me when there's drywall.
Call me when...
It's just such an inside
When
joke.
drywall starts to go up, that's when you can call me.
That's when it starts to look like what it's going to look like.
Why does Adam Schefter like stadium rendering so much? He always seems to be one of the first to tweet them out. Because the Chiefs have a new stadium. It just looks exactly like Arrowhead with a roof on it. They're just moving it to Kansas instead of Missouri. Oh, my goodness. One big thing on the 4 SEC programs speaking at the podium today, coming up next. Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M are the programs participating in podium and TV stuff at SEC Media Days today. 3HL is down there. They have been down there all week long. They are, I think they've got one more day of broadcasts from Tampa before they return back. You can catch their SEC Media Days coverage presented by Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver, and by eSpaces. Exceptional office space for every business. For more information and a schedule of 3HL's SEC Media Days interviews, visit 1045thezone.com. So, one big thing. Lucas gives us one big thing for every SEC program. The day that they are up at the podium at SEC Media Days. Which of these four would you like to start with today?
Let's go Bama.
Okay.
For Kalen DeBoer. Grace period's over. That's the one big thing for Kalen DeBoer.
Did he get one?
Yeah, as much as you can in that role. He takes over in year one. They go 9-4. They lose the ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan in what was a crazy game.
A weather game, right?
I think so. We had it on in here. I remember.
If
I'm not mistaken, Michigan had a crazy comeback.
People
in that
kept
game.
fumbling the ball all over the place. I feel like the field conditions were bad. Yeah.
It was wacky. 2025, 11-4. Okay, you get to that double-digit win season. You win a game in the college football playoff. The problem with 2025 was the lack of consistency in an identity, and in the kind of identity that never wavered under Nick Saban. Even when Alabama moved away from the ball control dominant defense out of necessity, Alabama was always going to punch you in the mouth. They were always going to run the ball well. They were always going to give high effort on defense. They didn't do that in week one against what turned out to be an atrocious Florida State team. They got straight up bullied up front. And really, they weren't able to. Alabama finished outside the top 100 in the country in running the football. Like, that can't happen. It can't happen, regardless of how many games you're winning.
Outside the top 100?
Yeah. Oof. They were objectively bad at running the football last year. So that has to improve. All of these things have to improve. You have to layer that into the Kalen DeBoer era, that identity of being good up front. They made a bunch of moves in the transfer portal. There is a quarterback battle happening between Austin Mack, who came over with Kalen DeBoer from Washington as a transfer, and Keelan Russell, who was a blue-chip recruit, who is much more of a dual threat. I do not know who's going to be starting in that matchup against East Carolina week one. But for Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, grace period, if there ever was one, is over. I mean, I don't know how much the thrill of the comeback win against Oklahoma got wiped away for Bama fans when they got punched in the mouth and steamrolled by Indiana in the Rose Bowl in the college football playoff. So
somebody get these beggars out of here.
That's right.
So Benjamin,
how's it feel, Bama fans? Beggars.
The thing
somebody get these beggars out of here.
My favorite thing to tell Bama fans, including my fiance Megan, a Bama grad, is to remind them that it will never, ever be that good. If you are an Alabama fan, you've peaked
by a mile.
By a mile.
And you're never getting back there.
It doesn't mean you'll never win another championship.
Never going to feel like that again.
It's never going to be like that. Now, I will say, if you're a Bama fan, that first Kalen DeBoer championship, if it happens, might hit harder than the third Saban championship, because at that point, you're just conditioned to winning. And
it's chasing history. You're chasing Bear Bryant.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe that doesn't have widespread significance to the fan base that's there on campus.
And Kalen DeBoer has embraced that aspect of the challenge at every turn, which you have no choice but to do that when you're the head coach at Alabama. But grace period's over. This is going to be an extremely talented roster. Ryan Williams, he is now Ryan Coleman Williams. He has officially changed his last name.
Okay.
Did not have that leap in year two after an incredible true freshman season. So in this loaded wide receiver class, suddenly this year is hugely important for Ryan Coleman Williams. In any other year, he could have a meandering 2026 and he'd still probably be a bona fide top 5, top 10 pick. Not in this wide receiver class. He's competing with Cam Coleman and all this litany of elite wide receiver talent across the country.
Crazy that you didn't say Jeremiah Smith first.
Jeremiah Smith, I mean, we can go on.
Yeah.
So it's a huge year for Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, because the Benjamin Watson conversation on SEC Network about Kiffin's got to be in the title game in year one, That applies more to Kalen DeBoer in year 3 than it does Kiffin in year 1 at LSU.
That the grace period was so short-lived for him speaks to the standard of Alabama football, and that's fine. That has to be just a totally chaotic existence. Now, he also wants to win at a high clip. And the thing that doomed him most against Indiana was his quarterback got hurt. Like, they were non-competitive for that game.
Yeah, man, they weren't in that game.
It spiraled so badly in the second
Maybe that
half.
made the final score look worse, but they were never in that game.
That's fair enough. Russell, there's a fair amount of Alabama fans in Nashville. One of my friends who played on the Alabama team with Dabo, actually, so a little bit longer in the tooth, but has been talking to me a lot about the Russell kid.
Keelan Russell, yeah.
As far as who they're excited to see, not whether or not he will win the job definitively one way or the other, but there's a lot of discussion around him. I'm sure it's similar to Faison and Tennessee fans.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably who Bama fans would like to see win the job. Yeah. It feels like the more exciting talent. So we'll see. Florida.
What's their schedule look like real quick?
Bama, while you pull that up, I'll tell you that Alabama, where do you think Bama ranks in favorites to win the SEC? To win the SEC championship game?
Behind Texas.
Yeah.
Are they behind LSU?
No, they are the third odds-on favorite. Georgia's the favorite at plus 300. Texas plus 330. Then there's a drop-off, and Bama is plus 850, just ahead of LSU, who is at plus 900. Tied with Ole Miss. LSU, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma are tied at plus 900 for fourth, and then you have A&M coming in at plus 1,000.
I hate that you ruined my...
Oh, are you going to do a thing?
Let's do it a bit.
Who's the sixth?
All right, I guess we'll never know.
Who's last?
Who do you think?
Mississippi State?
No. Arkansas.
Oh.
Arkansas is...
So Alabama opens at home with Eastern Carolina.
That may be the most... It might be the most offensive thing you've ever said to Robert.
Are you quite finished pouting?
Oh, sorry. Benevolent national champion. Thank you for letting me play in your league. Oh,
you're not
thank you. Yes. Oh, everybody bow down to the national champion Indiana Hoosiers.
That's right. They are at Kentucky, home Florida State, home South Carolina, at Mississippi State, home Georgia, at Tennessee, home A&M, at LSU, at Vanderbilt, home for Chat, and then they, of course, finish with Auburn at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Florida.
Bring the juice to the field. John Summerall, he's talking a lot, but not boisterously, he's not writing a check that Florida doesn't look equipped to cash. He's talking in a way that should get Florida fans excited. What he did at Tulane, he comes over, looks like Aaron Philo is the favorite. He's the transfer from Georgia Tech to start at quarterback. Jaden Baugh had a breakout year last year at running back, expected to have a big season, but the expectations for Florida are going to hover right around that 6-ish, 7-ish win mark, and rightfully so. They got to go to Auburn. They host Ole Miss. They go to Mizzou. They have to go to Texas. They have to play Georgia in Atlanta. That game is happening in Atlanta as the neutral site because of the renovations happening in Jacksonville, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. And obviously they go to Florida State to close out the year. But it is a tough schedule for Florida. And John Summerall just needs to do something similar to what Alex Golesh needs to do for Auburn fans. Make it fun after a dreadful 2025, because at no point was the Billy Napier era, much like the Hugh Freeze era at Auburn, fun.
Anthony Richardson was fun.
I don't know. How fun is it to have a supremely...
That Tennessee game you and me went to was fun.
Yeah, but how fun is it to have a supremely talented quarterback? Fun for you, but how fun is it for Florida fans to have a talented quarterback that never is better than 6-6?
Yeah, it's fair.
But yeah, you're right. That season, that 6-6 season,
they were fun to watch.
A lot more fun for sure. So that's John Summerall and Florida. For A&M, is this real with Mike Elko? 11 games, won, dominant defensive performance. They bring back their quarterback in Marcel Reed. They end up having to replace Casey Concepcion, parts and pieces on offense. at the skill positions, but can Mike Elko prove that he can sustain at Texas A&M? Because we've seen Texas A&M kind of have these spurts. Certainly saw it under Kevin Sumlin with Johnny Football, was not sustained. Mike Elko in year 2 at Texas A&M pops for 11 wins. They lose to Miami in the college football playoff. Can you sustain in 2026? They should have the talent to, and they should have the defense too. Mike Elko probably has established himself as one of the best defensive minds in all of college football. So can they sustain having to go to LSU and Alabama as well as Oklahoma as their toughest road trips? But all things considered, the schedule for Texas A&M, not among the toughest in the SEC, I would say. Like the marquee non-conference opponent is Arizona State at home in week 2. And otherwise you get Kentucky, LSU, Arkansas, Mizzou, Bama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and of course Texas.
Is Mike Elko the coach in the SEC that you're most looking at that with that through that lens? Is this real?
Yeah, probably. And I think it is. I'll be surprised if Texas A&M is not in the college football playoff.
Well, you saw what Nick Saban said about him.
No.
He, I think it was earlier this morning, he was talking on the SEC network about how Mike Elko, and I've got the quote in front of me, he has improved every part of this program. He's developed players. They're winning more games. They're playing better on defense. The people they're recruiting are being recognized as one of the best in the country. He's improved every part of this program, including the coaching staff. So there's a clip that goes on at some length. They're previewing all of the teams that are coming up at SEC Media Days. And heading into his 3rd season, he's got the second most wins, according to the SEC Network, through the first 2 seasons in program history. So he's obviously had a successful start, 19-7. He is in a situation where he's got a favorable schedule, as Lucas mentioned. What is the expectation for A&M then?
I think the expectation should be college football playoff, and to build on what you did in 2025, they are the 5th favorite because there are 3 teams tied for 4th in terms of odds per FanDuel Sportsbook to win the SEC. They are plus 1,000 to win the league.
One big thing about Ole Miss and Pete Golding in the wake of Lane Kiffin's, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Escape?
So it is about life after Lane, but it's also about life after Charlie Weiss Jr. Because, yes, Pete Golding led Ole Miss to that national semifinal after all the Lane Kiffin stuff. And it was an extremely commendable job that Pete Golding did. He also did it, despite Lane not being there, with a level of continuity on offense, with Charlie Weiss Jr. sticking around as offensive coordinator, who ultimately did leave to join Lane in Baton Rouge, but was allowed to stick around and call plays during that playoff run. And speaking of Robert's alma mater, Bert, could you give us a scouting report on John David Baker, the former ECU OC that now replaces Charlie Weiss Jr. and is calling plays for Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss?
Yeah, uses a lot of motion, a lot of RPO action. He's a former tight end coach at Ole Miss, so going back to his stomping grounds, he did a really good job getting both ECU quarterbacks over his time at ECU, getting them ready to play, having fun offensive systems that get guys open with regularity, the kind of scheme for people to be open. I wonder if his scheme at ECU, and I'm almost positive it will differ because of talent level disparity. At ECU, you kind of had to have situations where you could manufacture advantageous one-on-ones. Now at Ole Miss, he has a much higher talent ceiling. I wonder if he would go back to what he was doing or what they were doing in Ole Miss before, where it's not so much predetermined reads as it is going out there and running actual plays that require diagnosing from a defense.
Trinidad Chambliss back after winning in court in Mississippi, running it back for another year. Where do you guys think he ranks in Heisman odds on FanDuel?
Oh, he's got to be up there. I would say, well, I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks this year. Who's the favorite? Arch?
Actually, no.
That's surprising. Who is the favorite?
C.J. Carr.
Oh, by a
of Notre Dame.
Margin?
C.J. Carr is plus 750. Arch is plus 800.
Okay.
Darian Mensa, the Duke transfer to Miami, is plus 1,100.
Chambliss has to be in the top 10.
And then Chambliss is plus 1,200.
Okay.
He's the 4th.
they are still benefiting from the transfer portal, it seems, in Lane Kiffin's absence. Lane Kiffin, Portal King, the Portal King crown appears to be somewhere on the staff.
Jonte Cook was a big get. Now, for him, this is his third stop now. He was a 5-star receiver who started at Texas, did next to nothing his first 2 years at Texas, and then hit last year at Syracuse in what was a dreadful year for Syracuse football, but had a 500-plus yard season, loaded with talent. He's going to have to carry the load at wide receiver because they do lose a lot at wide receiver. They do bring back Kuan Lacey at running back, and obviously Trinidad at quarterback. Pete Golding still running the offense.
Defense,
I'm sorry. Ole Miss's schedule, let me pull it up in 2026. Oh, yeah, they play Louisville here in Nashville. So they open their season, the Liberty Mutual College Football Kickoff, whatever it's called.
Weird at Nissan?
At Nissan, yeah. Week 1, Louisville plays Ole Miss in Nashville. And then
they've got the Luke Ferrelli dude, too, from the whole Clemson texting scandal.
Yep. Pete Golding will be asked about that, undoubtedly. If he hasn't already, I'm assuming he's one of the last to talk today. SEC opener for Ole Miss, LSU at home.
LSU at home.
Yes. Where will there be more vitriol for Lane? Will it be
Tennessee
when he comes back to Tennessee?
It's so much bigger.
It is, like the environment is, yes, but I would say there is more fresh hate for Lane in Oxford than there is in Knoxville. And we've already done the Lane return. Screw you. We don't like you thing.
It's not even about fresh hate, though. It's about, do you want to be the experience of throwing mustard bottles and golf balls at Lane Kiffin is now a thing. Josh Heupel was saying it tongue in cheek.
Yeah, now I feel like Tennessee fans got to live up to that now.
That's what he said.
It's like
That's
a
what
challenge.
I'm saying. Like, it's going to be, okay, we did it this way last time, boys. Like, how are we going to get him this time around? Like, What is the size difference between, is it Vaught Hemingway Stadium, I think, is Ole Miss?
Yep.
And
it's
Neyland.
A big
it's
difference.
Gotta be, it's got to be something like 40,000.
It's a 30 to 40,000
come on.
person difference.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to that game, somebody, even if you don't know, even if you don't have a personal connection to Lane leaving in the middle of the night and all the different things that happened in the wake of him leaving as the Tennessee head coach, somebody's going to tell you, "Hey, this is the game we got to get up for. This is the game that we're going to be in his ear about, on his neck about." Right? I feel like you're almost playing a role now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe you're right, but I don't know. I've been to Ole Miss games. I've been actually a lot of Ole Miss games. For some reason, I guess they offered in-state tuition to a number of different states, so I had a bunch of friends that went down there for college. That is not, and I know they're winning more now. I guess. Who would have been the coach? Hugh Freeze would have been the coach when I had been to a couple of Ole Miss games. So they were decent, obviously.
Yeah, those Bo Wallace years.
Yeah. They upset LSU and Alabama in 2 different occasions when I was there.
They had some talent.
But the crowds were never what even a 11 a.m. kickoff are at Neyland Stadium. It's not even close.
It's not the cauldron for sure that he will be walking into in Knoxville. So fair enough. I hope both of those teams are 3-0. I mean, for that to be the SEC opener for both.
That'd be cool.
Mentioned Ole Miss plays Louisville. LSU plays Clemson in week 1. So
are we still looking at Clemson? What are we looking at Clemson like? What ACC truth, or what's your Clemson preview look like?
You know when you got that dog had for a long time, and it used to be great dog, like protector, like confidant, best friend, and now when you look out in the backyard, you see it and you can't really get up off the ground, and you're talking with your spouse and your kids, and it's like, yeah, I think it's about time to take Fluffy to the farm. Dabo Swinney's Clemson is that dog. It's time to go to the glue factory. Take the old horse out to pasture. And I think it's going to start pretty stinking early.
You and killing all the animals.
Sign them up. Give Elmer's a call.
No.
Hello? Yeah, I'm on the way with Dabo. You're going to make more than a dab of glue out of him. I promise you that. Yeah, I think this whole thing comes unwrapped, and we realize that it was really 4 children in a trench coat for Clemson week 1.
He really is just the dinosaur roaring at the meteor, isn't he?
I mean, everyone else that knew it was time to get out in just about any sport. I ask you this every time, Lucas. What was Virginia's head coach's name in basketball?
Yeah, Bennett. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett was like, yep, you know what? with the new NIL stuff. I don't play a fun brand of basketball, and no one is going to want to come here. I'm getting out.
I got my title.
Nick got out. Everybody else that's like Mac Brown, he didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But Roy Williams, like Coach K, all these other dudes stepped away. The greatest of that generation realized, you know what? It's my time to hit the boat and go where the elves go in Lord of the Rings. My time on this land is over. It's time for the next cats to do it. Dabo's like, nope. I'm staying here.
Refuse.
Time for second breakfast, Samwise. Break out the mushrooms.
Okay, we'll keep it in the ACC. Who, when it's all said and done, will have overstayed their welcome more? Jim Boeheim, Syracuse basketball, or Dabo?
It's always Boeheim.
Isn't Boeheim gone?
Yeah, he is, but
I'm telling you,
stuck around a little too long.
They had to drag him kicking and screaming off that bench.
Well, he did not want to leave because he had, I think his children were still enrolled and playing for him in a Tucker DeVries situation. My favorite, Jim Boeheim.
Never go full Tucker DeVries.
At ACC tip-off one year, Boeheim was up there in front of the media, his family, God, and everyone, and stuck his finger 3 ditches up his nose and picked that bad boy clean.
He doesn't care. He's Jim Boeheim.
He does not give a rip. But it'll be Dabo.
Jim Boeheim did more coasting off one title than anybody in the history of sports.
I'm glad Lauren Walsh is no longer in this market because she would let us know very quickly her affinity for Jim Boeheim.
Who likes Jim Boeheim?
People that went to Syracuse.
He's a grouchy old man. It's like who like Bobby Knight, just literally the whole state of Indiana.
As Buck throws a
choking
chair.
players. Yeah.
Well, Pete Golding is at the podium, so we'll see if anything comes out about Lane, about the tampering stuff at Clemson as Media Days rolls on. 3HL Live at 3.
Last call for phone calls if you got them. Oh, I like that comparison. Is Dabo the equivalent of Fulmer? But Fulmer was never equipped to do that job.
What do you mean?
The job of AD. Or maybe he's talking about overstaying his welcome. Past his prime at Tennessee as the coach?
I guess so. If Fulmer's second to last year at Tennessee, Vols were in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
So not quite.
Last call for phone calls and an Aaron Rodgers update. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Is Aaron Rodgers a good guy now? Did you see this? He's reunited with his family that he's been estranged from for 9 years. Are we going to have to pivot on him? Is there any way that Aaron Rodgers becomes likable at the end?
I don't know. I guess. Maybe. What are the biggest redemption arcs? Who has gone most from
Brady?
Yeah, but
actually, he's been...
Brady was never like, he's probably a bad guy. Like, people didn't like Tom Brady because he won, but Brady was just normal.
Cheated.
He was a normal guy.
The cheating stuff was not.
Yeah, I guess so.
Belichick never had the likable arc. LeBron was never a bad guy type of stuff, but like people hated LeBron when he went to the Heat.
Jameis?
Jameis has had one of the bigger redemption arcs that I can remember.
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick is a good submission as well.
Ultimate redemption arc.
Would you say Mike Tyson? Because, he was the greatest boxer in the world and then had all of his bout with drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff.
He also had a rape. He was convicted of rape.
Right.
So, I don't know that people just forget about the rape conviction.
Well, he had a cartoon on Adult Swim. I think they forgave him for the Mystery Squad or whatever the hell he was doing there.
Yeah, Tyson's a tough one for me.
Mm-hmm. Mike Vick, surely. Like, there can't be a bigger redemption than Mike Vick doing prison time for dogfighting, something that humans unanimously agree is a horrendous thing to do as a human being. And he has bounced back from it.
Somebody said OJ. Hey, world, it's yours truly. Oof. No. Somebody said Vic, hell no. That Mike Vick was not. Because I think there's still a portion of the population that will never. None of these people are going to be unanimously redeemed, right? Who have had a situation like this. There's always going to be some component of the population who says, yeah, Tyson in The Hangover was so funny. And I'm going to say, yeah, Tyson, but rape. Mike Vick, I think that's going to follow him with a contingent of people, no matter how much work he has done, who didn't get to have that moment, right? Because Ray Rice was universally panned, understandably so, after he knocked his wife?
Then-time girlfriend, but now wife, yes.
Well, so they've since gotten married. He has done a tremendous amount of work in the Baltimore community as far as domestic violence goes, and he never got the opportunity, and I'm not saying he should have necessarily, but we never gave Ray Rice the chance to come back.
And you noted his work in the community helps raise money for battered women's shelters, talks all the time about at conferences and whatnot. And the city of Baltimore loves him. Like, he is in and around the city all of the time. Every tailgate I go to, he is at the tailgate for Jimmy's Seafood.
So Rodgers hasn't done anything malicious necessarily. He's just, he's got the demeanor that wouldn't necessarily make people love him. And I think the fact that he was estranged from his family for that long, it's like, all right, what's going on there? Is it more you or is it them? Because I don't know his family. I know Luke, his oldest brother. Luke was doing sports media here for a while. He was working for CBS for a long time. He got out of the sports media game a while back. Luke's one of the best human beings I've ever met. And I don't know Jordan really well, but obviously people in town would know Jordan Rodgers for his time at Vanderbilt. And he was also doing some local media stuff before he got the opportunity at the SEC network. So I don't know. You try not to judge people from your initial reactions to him. And obviously family stuff is messy. So you don't want to dive into that. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers somebody had to convince him. He's saying that his life advisor had to convince him to reconnect with his family. But now he's saying it's one of the best decisions that he's ever made.
His brothers are like treating this like the prodigal son, where his parents are like, make sure when you go to the grocery store, you'll pick up some of that prune juice that Aaron likes. Oh, make sure I get what Aaron likes.
Where is Aaron's favorite?
Where has he been, Mom? Well, I've been here fixing your banisters, up on top cleaning your gutters out. What's Aaron been doing? He can't even send you a Christmas card. Look at you. Posing for him in the driveway like you love him. I'm your son.
I feel like Kiffin was on a redemption arc until last football
I
season.
love that you bought it.
I don't know.
Did you feel got at all?
I, as a Tennessee fan, the ill will towards Lane ended a while back.
No, not ill will, though, but you thought he was a different person. A little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
And admittedly, the puff piece that ESPN did on him, I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or E60, one of those.
Chris Lowe did like a very...
and it painted Lane in a favorable light, and people like, okay, this is a different, more grounded Lane Kiffin. And then...
Yeah.
The Vanity Fair. You're like, nope, that's still very much Lane Kiffin.
Pete Golding, speaking now, asked about Lane. He said people come up to him in Oxford and like almost whisper, like, tell me what you really think about him. But he said, Lane and I are good. We text on a regular basis. I have no ill will toward him. He did a lot for me.
I mean, that's just got to be one of those things. Like Lane Kiffin is one of those figures where you just have to accept him for what he is, right? Or maybe he's not your best friend in the world or whatever, and he's got some less than redeeming qualities, but you tolerate him because you know that he's never going to be a different person. Like he is the exact same, no matter how often he tries to sell you that he's a different person, Lane Kiffin is the exact same human being.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. I feel like we work with somebody like that. Don't want to call anybody out, but.
Pete Golding on tampering charges.
Not very nice for you to say about Dawn.
Accusations of tampering from Clemson and Dabo Swinney. He was asked about his feelings about the tampering charges from Clemson, and Golding said, I don't get into feelings.
Yeah.
We have a compliance department who handles that. He said, we're going to continue to recruit great players.
Pete Golding. I like Pete Golding. I don't know how good a coach. I mean, I know he's a good defensive coach. I don't know how good a head coach he's going to be, but I don't know if you had to. Could he be one of the more surprising stories in the conference this year? Like if Pete Golding succeed, I mean, he has tools to succeed.
He's got the tools.
Roster is good. The quarterback is back.
They've got the tools.
You mentioned the talent that he has in the running back room. Like, Pete Golding should have a good football team this year.
Should, yes. Like they should be playoff contenders without a doubt. Absolutely.
Highest expectations from their respective fan bases, Bama.
Of the schools today?
Of the 4 schools today.
Oh, yeah. I think it ranks, Bama, and then between Ole Miss and A&M, man. I'm going to put Ole Miss in there with Trinidad Chambliss coming back at quarterback.
I think you have to.
And then A&M,
quarterback. I think you absolutely have to.
Even though it's technically year 1 for Pete Golding as the head coach.
Okay, one more day of SEC Media Days. And then we get ready for training camp next week. We're a week away from training camp. You had a number of teams reporting today. We'll do a primetime video tonight. Talk a little bit of Titans there. We haven't talked Titans at all.
Yes, but don't watch that. Instead, watch Nashville SC and turn us on Apple TV.
Oh, yeah. You've got a game.
7:30 kickoff.
Are we going to that game?
I feel like if we were going to go, we should have made plans.
I'm asking you to make plans right now.
Well, the show's over. I can't work anymore on you. I have to work on myself.
How's that going?
Poorly. Pretty poorly.
That's going to do pretty bad. That's going to do it for us today. Nashville SC, Montreal, tonight.